Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lightbringers podcast, episode 31, season 2. We're talking about Lion's Arch today a lot. It is Living World, season 1, episode 5, release of Awesome. And we have some amazing, wonderful, epic guests on the show today. It's going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. You can see everyone, you should be able to see everyone, hopefully, on your screen. We have Lorane, we have Boots, we have Kroof, we have Fornax. Look at this. Amazing wealth of knowledge and stuff. Also, tell us in the chat if you can't hear anyone or anything going on.
Oh yeah, we should maybe speak.
Yeah, speak for a bit.
Maybe.
Hello.
Chin Chin.
Yeah,
Hey everyone.
people can hear you. Good.
Hi.
Okay, that was our awkward random hello. That's it. That's the show. We're gonna just go and play it around in Lion's Arch for a bit. If you're watching live and you want to join us in Lion's Arch in, say, probably about an hour-ish, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be playing through the Return to Lion's Arch, coming back in with part of the not the invasion, but our force going back into Lion's Arch, taking it back. So if you want to join us, there's going to be a command in the chat coming out. It's going to be !squad. It's going to be squad join on me, when my account number, when we get to that part. But if you're not watching live, then you should watch live sometimes, because you can come play with us all. It is going to be NA, actually. And I forgot about that. I was like, oh, should have probably told Lara that we're on NA. That probably would have been
I suspected.
Yes,
I'm
you
already
did.
on NA.
Excellent.
I knew it.
Excellent, thank you. That's smart, you see. And also, Fornax. I'm assuming Fornax, because Fornax has been here many times now, so I'm just assuming everything's fine, right?
Yeah, I'm slumming it on the American servers. It's fine.
Okay, good stuff.
Get some hate in the comments.
I'm
Thank
on
you.
EU. Oh no.
Okay, well, that's the
fired.
end of the show, everybody. Shut her
fired.
down.
Literally fired.
Unfortunate.
I started first firing people a long time ago. Doesn't
You just
happen
keep
often.
showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fired my nephew, actually. I found
Oh,
it was
God.
weird. I found a video. I felt like, on Google photos, you have these things which come up and it says this is what you did 7 or 8 years ago. There's a video of him that comes up and he's jumping up and down on my bed doing ninja stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you're a ninja. And he's like, no, I'm not. I guess you are. No, I'm not. I'm just you're fired. You're not a ninja anymore. And that's where it came from, Kroof. Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Origin story.
It's very
Oh.
For
random.
sharing during this show and tell, share and tell.
It was a very random story. Okay.
So you invented the phrase "you're fired"?
Oh no, just for myself.
Oh, I was
okay.
like, you could copyright that. You make a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. Be the president one day.
Mm.
Sorry, I just threw up in my
God.
mouth. I'll be back in a minute.
Wow, because I can be president? I think I'm making
Yeah,
president.
exactly.
Thank you, Boots, so much. That's rude. Okay. Let's do a mini intro. Boots, what do you do where you do it? Welcome back.
And Boots, you could find me at World of Enders on YouTube, and I make videos about Guild Wars 2.
Awesome. Kroof, what do you do? Where do you do it?
Hi everyone, I'm Kroof. I do some videos over on YouTube and I stream here on Twitch throughout the week. I have a video coming out again because I finished the script, so looking forward to that.
You just have a video coming out?
Just
Yeah.
one.
Their first
Just
video.
one.
The
Yeah.
first one.
All the other videos I've done has just been practice.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of videos. A lot of practice. Thank you for the resubs in chat as well. Also, we have Fornax, the Crown Herald. Welcome back. Hello. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Fornax. Hello. I'm Fornax, and I occasionally make YouTube content and about Guild Wars 2. And you can find me on YouTube and Twitter for as long as it's still alive, and other places like that. Hello.
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 And last but certainly not least, Loranity, who has not been here for a while. And it's awesome to
I'm
have
back.
you here. You are back.
I'm back.
Tell us what you do and where you do it.
Feels good to be back.
That's
Hey everyone, I'm Loranity. I do streams and I also make videos about Guild Wars too. It's like we all have something in common. Like there's this game or something. It's pretty wild.
It
Feels
is
good
weird.
to be back though.
It's weird. It's a weird world. yes, it's awesome to have you back, as well as everyone back after our. We had a little stint on the Extra Life show last week. It was just an hour. It was fun. If you didn't see it, it's not going to be on the YouTube channel, or it might do. I might chuck it out. We'll see. We'll see. You never know, but it was fun. We raised money for kids for Extra Life. It was very, very awesome. And we hit over the $125,000 goal. So good job, everyone. Very good. Very good. Today we're going to be talking about the Living World in Guild Wars 2. If you don't know what the Living World story is, it's just the story in Guild Wars 2. It's the main storyline, basically. But it's the first season, because the first season was released many years ago, but unfortunately, it wasn't one of those things which you could re-release or keep out for very long, because it was very much live. It was very living. It was so living that it couldn't even be in the living world. And that's unfortunately just the way it was. So what they did was they had to redo it and re-release it so the people who were coming into the game actually understood the story. Because otherwise, you didn't really understand the first major bit of the game, which was a bit of an issue. But we're okay now because it's been fully released. And the last episode came out, so we're going to talk about that. Twitch.tv/Jebro Unity, normally on Fridays, is the Lightbringers podcast with a bunch of us talking about the game. So if you do want to come watch us live, it's about 1 p.m.-ish Pacific. And so we're on a Sunday today. Mostly because I had a massive tattoo on my arm done on Friday. And
show it off. Show it off.
You can barely see it because it's just blood. At the moment, it's just blood and like.
They tattooed you with your own blood. Wow.
Yeah.
What I can see looks really good though.
It's
I like it.
That looks awesome.
There's Anubis and stuff on the back. It's the
Wow.
Wheel of Fortune, but steampunk with loads of stuff on it. It's an important meaning for me. It's pretty cool, but it hurts. Well, it hurt at the time, and I had to get it done during the podcast. So I was debating. I told the tattoo artist, I was like, I was debating doing a podcast during this. He was like, well, it's probably
That would be fun.
probably would have been difficult. Oh yeah, he wants to do live streaming and stuff, so I've been trying to help him to set it up as well. So it's been interesting.
I'd be like, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, it. Tell us all the things.
Yeah, this is bad because I was tired anyway, so it hurts more when you're tired. You haven't got much energy. It's pretty tiring. It's all fun and games. Anyway, so we have a document which I'm actually going to pull up because I can't remember the questions I had. But yeah, general thoughts really. We're just going to kind of go through bits and bobs of the episode and talk about it as we normally do. It's not going to be like, every single bit of the episode and but we can just talk about the lore, the story, how we felt it was re-implemented, and kind of remembering bits and pieces, because this is a big nostalgia hit, hardcore. And the story in the episode kind of started off, this is season 5, the last episode of Living World season 1, and you started off with the Marrionette, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
I kind of forgot that we started there.
So did I.
Just because it was already implemented in like an open world scenario with a 50-player squad. So we did it, but I was always wondering, was that going to be tied to an instance? And lo and behold, it was. And I thought it was actually really good, particularly for the character of Timey, because we haven't seen Timey through the entire season. And it was like episode 5, and it's like, okay, Timey's a pretty big character. When's she gonna pop up? Oh, of course, the Marrionette. And then we really got to spend a lot of time with Timey in this episode. But the introduction was really good. It was fun and cinematic.
Yeah. It only bugged out for me once.
Oh yeah, I did see a
It
couple
bugged
bugs.
out for me too, actually.
Oh really? What was the bug?
It got stuck because sometimes the NPCs don't, because I was doing it solo, so that's where I get bugged. So like sometimes the NPCs don't behave exactly how they're supposed to and destroy the things they're supposed to. So, but the second time around, it was smooth.
Huh.
I think they have actually fixed it. There was like a old fix where they addressed it.
Yeah,
I really liked it as well. It was just, I wasn't expecting them to sort of, like this whole episode back in the original season 1, it was very sort of like, it wasn't a very unified thing. It was lots of different things happening. There was like the Marrionette, there was Battle for Lions art, there were some instances. And I was really happy how they sort of actually went and added all those things in. I was thinking they would probably skip like half of it, and I was thinking they'd probably skip the Marrionette, But they just brought it back. I was very impressed. And Instance was cool as well. Just like finding the Marrionette and then seeing like the NPCs fighting as well. It was cool.
Casimir shooting the one ether bolt every 5 seconds and then double teleporting. Like, Casimir, please hit the thing.
It was very interesting in this episode. But yeah, it was very... The only thing I would say about this fight, and I think about most Guild Wars 2 fights in general in the game, in the story, other than End of Dragons actually, which I didn't notice as much, is that sometimes they can go on for a bit. And you kind of like, you're in this moment. I was very much like playing it yesterday, and I was like, there was the music, you know, the amped up Guild Wars 2 theme where you're like, do 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 do, and then like, there's that whole thing, like, yeah, I'm really hype, and like you got the whole skin thing going on there. That sounds weird, sorry. You know, you're feeling good. What is the goose pimples? That's right. You know, Fornex.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Skin
Yeah, sorry.
thing.
Skin thing. That's what I call it apparently. But anyway, you're just getting excited about it, and then you're like, yeah, I'm doing the thing. Then comes the more watchwork nights, and I destroy the box I've got to destroy, which is, you know, operating the chain, and then I've got to go back to this, and I've got to do this again. I've got to do the same thing, and I'm like, okay. I get it. Like, we don't have to do it that much, and it just took a bit of time, and I was just like, it was really epic, and then it just became a little bit samey after a while, and then I don't know if anyone else had that thought, but I've always had that thought in some
For
fights.
which instance?
It's for the Marrionette, sorry.
You thought it was samey?
A little bit after a while.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, It was beautiful. It was a lovely spectacle. I liked the fact that Timey was there. I found it a bit jarring that what I would have liked would have been some interaction between the other characters and Timey just arriving on the battlefield, because here's a kid with a robot. They should have been kind of stood around her, kind of like, what are you doing here, kid? Get the hell away. I would have liked that to kind of ground it in the realism, because that's the reaction that Logan Thackeray has reasonably after the whole thing kind of is finished. But I loved the kind of the little cutscenes that we got. I loved the kind of, it felt really like a moment where this thing was coming down. But I agree with you. It was just kill NPC, hit back wall, kill NPC, hit back wall. It was a little bit, they could have had a little set piece, I think.
Right, but definitely the NPCs all having different mechanics was kind of fun.
Yeah, if they were going to do that, I like that they implemented each of the individual mini bosses that you'd fight in the actual Marrionette instance.
That's true.
And just in case people don't do the 50-player instance, and I don't know if like NA players do it all too often. So I know I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. I will say that doing that instance solo, though, the first time I was doing it, I didn't read the first guy's text underneath their health bar.
Same.
And so it took me a little while to understand that I was supposed to be behind it, attacking it the whole time, and so it was invulnerable for a long time. And I'll tell you, as a solo player, even knowing that, it takes a little bit of effort to get him to be behind, because he just turns to face you all the time. It was a little difficult.
There was text underneath the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't read that
like
mostly.
mechanics.
If it involves reading, I'm normally not buying into that, honestly.
I will say sometimes it is a bit difficult to see because of like the color of the text, and it looks a little small. But yeah, it's nice. And I think this is also a good way of teaching players. We sometimes talk about the scaling of difficulty and how the game introduces you to mechanics. I think implementing this story step, kind of season 1, season 2, Heart of Thorns, is when it really starts to jump in difficulty. The earlier that we introduce more interesting and specific mechanics, perhaps people will have an easier time later in the game. So I appreciated that, and they've since gone back and reduced maybe like the damage that the mobs do, so that I know that was another thing people were talking about, that they were hitting really hard. So I like that they've been tuning and tweaking the amount of health and damage that these enemies are dealing.
One thing that I really liked was that sword swipe across all the platforms when you see it happen, and when you see that animation from the Marrionette was really just pretty cool. I missed it, I think, of the first one, but yeah, it was fun. okay, so this was the fight. I did genuinely like the fight, but after a while, it just got a little bit samey, like I said. But that's just a personal thing. It doesn't mean it's bad or anything. One thing that I did really like, there was this cutscene. Actually, I was just watching the Marrionette for a while and kind of didn't realize I had to go back and destroy the controlling the regulator thing, and I was just watching and I was just, oh yeah, I actually have to end this. But the Marrionette looks kind of cool. The thing I liked afterwards a lot was actually the interaction between Timmy and Logan. I thought that was so good. I thought it was hilarious. Just like, where are your mom and dad kind of thing. You shouldn't be here on your
They're
own.
dead. Oh,
Tammy's so sassy still in season 1. She
Yeah.
gets like way like nicer later on, but here she's kind of mean, but like kind of in a funny way. I like
So
a lot. It's like a different side of Timmy.
Yeah.
and being introduced to Timmy and kind of going back in time, seeing her when she was younger, and then throughout the story, learning about her character and how the teachers are kind of like competing to be her teacher. It really made me realize the development of Timmy over the years. And as Lara said, like, she starts out really kind of, you know, more mean and more cutting than she is now. She still has that attitude, but it's usually more lighthearted, I guess. So she is like this very young child who is kind of propped up, and it kind of makes sense. Like, if you were that young, you'd be like, oh yeah, I have a chip on my shoulder, I have a snooty attitude.
Also, her character model is ridiculously small.
Yes.
She's really, back then she was tiny. She was like
Tiny.
I want to say a third of her current size at least.
Maybe. I don't know. I think her hair is taller hair because her hair changes.
True.
I love that she's completely simping for Scarlet. I
yeah,
love
that's
that.
funny.
That is just so wonderful.
That's so true. Yeah, throughout she's just like, you know, I know she's bad, but at the same time, she's pretty cool. And she's got all this power and all these things which are just epic and wonderful. Okay, so general thoughts about like kind of that instance and whatnot. I mean, we've kind of had the Marrionette back for a while, so we've you know, it wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing, but like it was still pretty cool music and etc. And it was like Lara said, you know, you were like, there's so many things packed into this just one episode.
Massive.
Yeah, like it's a proper finale, right? It's like a real good send-off / setup to really what is essentially the rest of the entire storyline, because it's just like the beginning, like it's really the beginning, and there's not really any dragons in it either. So it's like, okay, well, get ready, your brown rubber safety pants on. Okay, I'm gonna pull us back over to this. Anything else anyone wants to say about that kind of Marrionette bit, the fun times that were had there?
I would
I thought it was
wonder
just
if you
really
guys...
cool they put it in the story. Like, I was so expecting them to skip it. I was like, what? Wait, they're doing it. Whoa, this is high budget. This is cool. So for me, that was my main response. I didn't even really bother too much thinking about the combat. I was mostly just busy being blown away that I was there in the first place, I think.
Cool.
I was going to ask, would you guys welcome like a hard mode with better rewards for a solo player? I know that they like to implement that for group content.
Generally for everything in the game, yes.
I think
Absolutely.
they kind of entertain that with migraine mode Mordremoth, but now that we have these other systems of strike missions, and we still have fractals and raids, they haven't been canceled like officially yet. I don't know. I think if the development could be shifted into those areas more smoothly, I'd say like continue to do that with like the strike missions and the challenge modes, because that does have reward. But in terms of a solo play, I mean, achievements are sometimes like the hard mode you could do, because you can, like with some of the achievements that we have, you can get a whole legendary accessory piece, and it depends on the resources that they have. I don't know.
I'm still a proponent for eventually releasing all the core maps as hardcore maps.
Oh god.
Level 80?
Level 80 or no, like level 82 or something like they did in Guild Wars 1. I'd like to see that. Everything a little bit harder.
They could
better
just do like
rewards.
dynamic level scaling that other MMOs do. like World of Warcraft, where you're going down to a level 10 zone, but all the enemies are like level 52.
Yeah.
So it scales better. I don't know.
Are you talking about like map vanquishing from the original game? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
I think I'd like to see more hard solo content actually. I always really like doing stuff solo, like trying to solo hero points and stuff. I always find that really satisfying. It's like a whole different play style than something like raids. So I would like that, I think. But again, like they only have so many resources. There's only so many things they could do.
And the truth of the matter is, everything could be a hard solo encounter as long as it started off as group content. So as long as they keep on making group content, you have hard stuff to solo.
Soloing the new strike. Yeah.
Some people have done it.
Not actually played that yet. Okay.
It is good.
We'll see how much time we got. Okay, so one thing I didn't know what I did like, and I can't remember if they were there in the original, was Scholar Ella McKay, who was always there, like giving you all the information throughout the entire episode. In different instances, she was there, and she's there in Lion's Arch anyways, isn't she, somewhere generally?
Yeah.
But like she was there in the episodes, and I'm not sure if she was there before, but giving you back information because it's been re-released, and there might be some missing info from time to time, and there's stuff in the polls as well, which we had from the re-release of just finding out who Bram is and other people, and that wasn't all released, and that's still a bit confusing. So there's I thought they were great, just being there and like voiced as well. Like it was pretty much all voiced. I think she was all voiced.
Probably a mix. But I loved Ella McKay. I love that they used her throughout the story instances for players if maybe they're coming back or they haven't actually played it all the way through and they wanted to be reminded of what happened. And she's in Lion's Arch, she's in a lot of the instances in episode 5, and we also see her in End of Dragons in New Cunning City and in Arborstone. So it's just nice having a recognizable character who's kind of like this master of lore just like pop up and be like, oh yeah, I remember you. Motorcycles outside.
The traffic is heavy around the Griff's area this
very
morning.
heavy. Oh my gosh.
It's afternoon, sorry, it's a Sunday afternoon, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Anyone else comments about the amazing and awesome NPC that was kind of giving us loads of info throughout the whole episode, different parts and pieces?
I would say that I think they've done a really good job. I've had a lot of complaints over many years about them delivering information and missing information, so new players can't connect to these characters. And I think throughout, not just in when we go and talk in Lion's Arch, but throughout the episode, there's so much backstory, so much information, so much interaction with the characters. I think that they have really, especially in this last episode, gone out of their way to make sure that the player can feel connected to the characters. So it's perfect. I'm very happy. Well done, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel very much the same. It feels like they sort of masterfully got this whole thing into an entirely different format, and it doesn't even feel like it. It feels like it was designed this way. It doesn't feel like, hey, we took some old stuff and we kind of remixed it. It just feels like very natural. And having those first-time interactions, like with Sammy and stuff, for example, is so important for people to care about characters long-term. People actually a little bit said that we didn't really get the Canuck introduction in season 1.
Yeah.
But there was actually like a little thing in one of the instances where you could talk to Canuck while he was in jail. So you still sort of got a kind of vague introduction to who he was. But honestly, all things considered, I think just not even this episode, but the whole season, I was very impressed. Very, very cool.
Amazing. Okay. Awesomeness. Well, there was another bit I kind of wanted to go over. Oh, there we go. It was when, it was just something in the story where I was like, where I kind of just forgot that Rox and I guess us, as well as like Kaz and Marjorie, like how all these people came together and were just, I don't know. This is funny. I just went through the VOD and Lara's raiding me. Just like, there's the
You're
boss.
welcome.
Yeah, there you go. Reminded me. I was just like, thank you very much. But this is Ella McKay. But just remembering how Cass and Marjorie kind of connected so much because of their loss and their trauma. And there was just so many hits in this season of like mental health stuff that I just didn't really pick on at the time, mostly because at that time I wasn't anywhere near that area myself, like as a professional, because that's what I do now. But it's like rewatching this, like how much of that I actually put into this episode and then reminded us about and maybe altered, because I can't remember the original instances. But you know, like Cass's father dying, you know, and Marjorie and like all the pain she's like gonna go through as well, and you just remember, and you're like Belinda towards the end of the episode, and you're just like, oh my god, like what's coming? Spoilers for the future, by the way. But yeah, it was just any of the kind of build up for the characters, like any feedback about that, how they did that. I mean, I know people have kind of mentioned and talked about how they enjoyed it and whatnot, but I thought it was pretty good, especially in this kind of instance. If you're not watching the stream, we're kind of in Lion's Arch talking to Scholar Ella McKay, and Timey comes in as well, and she's kind of passed on to Bram-ish, kind of, and then they kind of end up going to the Edge of the Mist. But like, there was, you know what? There were a lot of features as well introduced in this season, let alone this episode. That's an interesting part. But yeah, any feedback on kind of the general setup or lore at all? Yeah,
I think they even improved upon it because they added in all these like cool lore books you can find that weren't there originally back in season 1, and they had like audio recordings and stuff. So they actually sort of took that original season 1, and you can sort of find out more about what's going on in the characters' heads, right? Like for example, you can find like a letter from Marjorie's dad in one of the episodes, where you can sort of get an insight in like their all the family stuff that's going on. And there's like recordings where like Scarlet is talking to my twin, and you can sort of get an insight in there, you know, how that dynamic works and stuff. It's really cool. We get to sort of we get to see the background a bit, you know, all the stuff where we aren't. We get to peek behind the curtain a little bit, which is very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's because I wasn't paying enough attention 10 years ago, or that they did do a very good job of adding new stuff in, because I feel like the motivation of Scarlet this time around is much more apparent to me, and the reason why she did things, and just like she seemed like a much more understandable character than she did the first go through. So yeah, I think that's a triumph.
Can I ask a question? Oh, sorry, Kroof.
Would you like to ask your question first?
I was going to say, now that we know the motivations, do you think that it diminishes the mystique of Scarlet, or does that understanding bring a more rich and involved story?
I think mystery is good when you're building up a season, but at a finale, it's nice to kind of have that closure on the character. And you know, especially towards the end, spoilers, when we're actually like downing Scarlet, and she's like, "Don't you know why I want to do it?" And Bram's just like, "It doesn't matter now." I'm always like, "Bram, no, I want to know why. I want, like, make it make sense." So I do really appreciate that this episode felt so much more lore heavy than really any other episode that I've played in recent past. There was so much text, there was so much narration, there were so many instances that were dedicated to telling the story of the characters in this context of Scarlet, and then also Scarlet herself. So I think at this finale, at this point, I really love that they went that little extra mile to add all those little audio notes.
And
I think something else to note is just that in the original season 1, it was really easy to like miss stuff, right? Like if you just took a break for like 2 weeks, or if you just didn't realize that there was like a hidden instance, like you could do the Marrionette in season 1, and when you won, you just left, and then you never got to see Timey's introduction at all if you just like left and didn't realize that's what happened. I think honestly the new format makes season 1 better because you don't miss stuff. Back when I played season 1, there were a lot of things that I just kind of accidentally skipped because I was busy that week, or I just didn't realize it was there. And now it feels much more coherent because they sort of like get you to play for everything step by step. You don't miss the steps in between.
Yeah, that might be a big issue. It might not just have been that they added more interesting stuff, they added more in-depth stuff. It might just be it's presented in a much more coherent manner than it was originally.
Exactly.
One thing I do want to mention about missing stuff, it's great that we have it in this format and in this structure. It's so much more satisfying. But in the context of missing some elements, I do think that with this episode and maybe the others, those side lore books and audio logs are great to go and find, but I think some of them are maybe a bit too hidden, or too many of them are hidden in a way, especially with Canuck. Canuck, there's no indication that he's there. You really just have to kind of stumble upon it. And then there's a note at the very top, like tucked away, and there aren't really any icons to show that they're there. It's more so like, oh, I found it. And at times that actually is nice and it feels satisfying, but I think the balance could have been better, where some of them were maybe a bit more obvious and then some of them were more hidden. So a little note for that, particularly with Canuck.
I think the remedy to that is, I mean, I knew where Canuck was because I went there last time and spoke to him, so I knew where he was. But
I had no idea where he was.
I missed it. Yeah.
But I think it's forgivable.
Next is just like, got it.
Sad day for you. No. Sorry.
Yes, just care about my feelings. Sorry.
I think that it's forgivable that they're hidden because it's replayable. So your friends are talking about, oh, did you read that lore book? And you go, no, God damn it, I didn't. So you can go back and you can go in and you can find it. And I think that's the best thing about all the content being replayable. And I hope that eventually they do it for the first personal story, so that we can play through that again. I would love to see that.
Redo the entire thing?
Yeah. I think, I love the lore, but that's me. I'm a bit of a sadist. What can I say?
You know what? That's good. That is true. Because I wanna change my allegiance to Priory. I mistakenly chose Vigil. I was young.
I was Whispers.
I thought I knew you.
Same.
I know.
You are. Who are you now? I don't know. We will judge every creator based on their...
baby. Anyways.
I think I mostly found all of them because I wanted to get the Lion's Arch pass. So I started doing like all the achievements. So it's like I'm just looking up guides to find them all.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that.
It's so worth it.
I didn't feel that incentive because I hadn't completed any of the meta achievements for season 1. So after I finished episode 5, then I went back, then played through it in sequential order. And then I eventually hit episode 5 and picked up all the lore stuff. I was so sad that I didn't complete those meta achievements when I did, when I had the opportunity to.
It is not quick, and I'm like,
it takes a bit of time. Yeah.
I'm not in any rush, honestly. I'm just gonna teleport to friend. For now, I'll get it done. Okay, but yeah. So they did set up because I forgot. You know, Rox was on this journey to kind of get back into the the Stonewall Band? I can't remember what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like, and was like they had to get the kill. Like, had to kill Scarlet. And then someone else was given the job to kill Scarlet as well, and all these people, you know. So there was all these little side stories that I completely forgot about. And someone mentioned the Healbot in chat as well, which I totally forgot about that. And I was like,
Healatron.
Yeah, like it was awesome because you can get that little backpack as well, which reminded me of him. And yeah, it was just cool. And there was this little bit here which I loved, and like Logan comes in, like starts talking about this child. Why is this child on the battlefield? And like Bram's like, I'm not a child. And just like there were just these little laughs. Funny. Yeah, there were just these little laughs all the way through where I'm just like chuckling on stream, and I'm just like, this is pretty cool. This is just fun. This is like some wholesome story content, which I'm just genuinely enjoying. And I don't know if I enjoyed those little bits as much when I first saw them, just because I can connect them and know more about the characters now and where they went. It's kind of weird. But yeah, no, it was very good. Very, very good. Okay.
I just think they're so much better now. They've had all this time and all this community feedback. They're just so much better at delivering the story now. So much better.
Absolutely. I'm just kind of forwarding through to see what the next bit is. Me taking a break. Oh yeah.
Instance on the stream was one of like the two very narrative heavy instances where like that's all you did.
Yeah, that is what you did. Yeah, I mean, this Marjorie and Cass bit was after. I think you could leave the instance actually, and you just went over to them and they just started talking about her father being arrested, and yeah.
It also puts a lie to the fact that people say, "Oh, Guild Wars 2's really gone woke," whatever that bloody means. This is season 1, with a gay couple front and center falling in love before your eyes. So everyone, just see yourselves out if you don't like it,
Yeah.
It's been like that since like the very start, right?
Yeah,
That's the
even
thing.
with the Sylvari.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Completely. It's just like, okay. Well, we can talk about that more as we go on, because that would definitely come up. Mitrin escapes.
Sad.
So that coming. I still feel like that was kind of a very side thing, like comment. I was just like, yeah, okay. I guess so.
They have to set up End of Dragons.
Yeah, true. This is a long sell. I was just like, yeah, in 10 years, I'll make sure my trend's all right. She's going to get out of jail
True.
at some point in time. Could have done that later, but But Ellen Keel is, I forgot how present they are in this season, like how much they're just there all the time. And Evan Nashblade is just a bit of an arsehole in this.
Oh, he's a huge
Yeah.
asshole. Yeah.
When we get to the escape.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He bugged out like every time. I hate him even more because he kept bugging out on the escort.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I think it only I was able to fix it the second or third time I did it, but yeah, in the first time I did it, when you get to the first group of bad guys, if he gets like interrupted badly or if he gets downed, sometimes he like thinks that, I gotta go backwards a little bit after you clear the guys, and if he goes backwards after you clear the guys, he then turns around and comes forward again, which summons the people again. So it's like an infinite loop of going back and forth. But as long as he survives, that doesn't happen.
I guess the only thing that's missing is between the last episode and this one, Keel was promoted, wasn't she? She became put on the captain's council, and we had the election. So in season 1, when it was playing through, it was in the forefront of everyone's mind because they just had a massive internet campaign and lots of badges and lots of interaction with the community and deciding what to call the grouping and all that kind of thing. So it was very much Keel and the chat ass hat that was. Oh, he's horrible. He's horrible.
I love Evan Nashblade though.
He's
I really
funny.
love Evan Nashblade, but he is an arsehole. Yes.
He's very char. He is a char through and through.
Mm-hmm.
He's good character. Really good
Your
character.
Goliaths are very slow.
They are. Even if you give them swiftness.
Yeah.
Super speed as well. They're just like, don't care.
They got a lot of fluff carrying around.
That's true. They're like, I've got to go back to Wild v Wild. And then this was the thing as well. I was like, we're going Edge of the Mists? What? Like, this is when this must be when they actually introduced Edge of the Mists. And I was just like, what? This is so random. And then it was just really well done. Does anyone want to kind of I'll explain the general gist actually. But like, what happens is Timey's Scruffy is broken basically, and you have the option to run around the Edge of the Mist, which is the World v World over. Like, it's basically there's queues for the place. Yeah, it's like an overflow map, which they introduced because our maps were so populated all the time, and you could go into Edge of the Mist. And I didn't realize it was introed that early into the game for a start. They really did pack a lot of content early into the game. Completely forget about that. And you could either run around the map and grab all these pieces of equipment, or you could just skip through, which I didn't know, because I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna go around Edge of the Mist next. Damn it. I kind of skipped that bit by accident. But yeah, what
It
thoughts
is
on
very
this?
beautiful. My thought is that I forgot how beautiful the Edge of the Mist is.
It's been a while.
It's really pretty.
I hadn't been back to the Edge of the Mists in probably like safe bet.
It's been a while.
6 years or like 7 years.
Yeah.
And then also,
really cool.
I discovered that you can't use your Warclaw in Edge of the Mist,
Yeah.
which is weird. Kind
It's
of.
very limiting.
Oh, I didn't know that was. Yeah, I didn't know that. Maybe I've not been there for that long.
But it was a really unique experience on launch day because it's a competitive area, but everyone was just trying to do the story. So people were kind of like, okay, we're gonna call truce here while we all go and collect this. And then sometimes like some duels would break out, and I'd be like, please don't kill me. I just wanted to get through this, please. But it was really fun, and I think it's nice to introduce that to new players if they are playing from core to season 1, and they're like, oh yeah, this game mode, fun. Let me check it out.
I love. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I spent a lot of time in the Edge of the Mist leveling alt characters. That used to be the kind of the default way to do it. But the thing I love about the Edge of the Mist is it's a purely PvP story map. So it's all based on the Aether Blades getting trapped in the mists and them dealing with it and their bases and their operations and that kind of thing. And I think that that's absolutely brilliant. And now they brought that forward in time into the End of Dragons expansion with the story of Mitrin and how they were trapped in there and what it did to them and the psychological damage that it wrought on all the crew being trapped in this kind of alternate reality. So I really love that.
Yeah.
I never really.
This was one of the things where I was like 100% sure that they would skip it, which I thought was sad because I actually remember playing this when Edge of the Mist came out. And there's like some nice character developments with like Bram and Timmy kind of becoming friends. I feel like that friendship is not as like front and center anymore, but for a while it's like Bram and Timmy, they're buddies basically.
Yeah,
And I always thought it was like a really fun, wholesome story of it. So I was just so happy they brought it back at all.
You're right, actually. When they announced they were redoing the story, I kind of went through all the different steps that were originally released, and I was seeing what they might cut, what they might not. And you're right, I thought they might cut this, but they didn't. And it does surprise me that this is one of the things they kept in, but Kanak was just kind of removed entirely from it.
Oh.
You know, like so I don't know if that's because they don't intend to use Kanak going forward too much or what.
I feel like maybe just the whole Kanak story maybe was just not super suitable for full episode formats.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they didn't have enough stuff to work with to make it a satisfying episode.
Probably,
I would have been fine if it was like a prologue, like episode 0, similar to Icebrood Saga, where you just take a vacation. Like after you kill Zaitan, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go vacation in South Sun, and then you do like 2 story instances and like deal with Canuck stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's nice. I would rather. I like to get to new story first, so cut that episode.
Yeah.
Let's get to season 6 faster.
South Sun story would be cool as like one of those side story things that they got kind of elsewhere. It is kind of because if you're a new player, you know,
It's an
you never really
inexplicable map.
Yeah, you're never going there. Like you literally don't go there. Like there's no reason other than to do
Carca
achievements.
Queen.
I mean, yeah. Other than like that, and like getting achievements, it's actually a pretty
But
cool.
the only
map.
way to get there, because it's not revealed when you install the game,
it's
right?
true.
So the only way to get there
Definition.
is to find the random portal, the random way to
Yeah.
get there for no reason, just randomly walking into it, and then you're there, and it's like, oh, what the heck is going on here?
Which is a problem we've talked about before with Guild Wars 2's content and hiding it in places. You know, that is kind of a very visual, more obvious one that kind of gets missed. And hopefully there are links to it later. But they've got so many maps and so many places to send players. It's just like, how do you manage that after so long? I checked out some of the rewards at this point in time as well. There's a really cool like shoulder piece and also cloak as well that you can get from the achievements, which are cool.
The cape looks so good. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I was like, it's not like
They killed it.
Oh, they killed it isn't good. Okay.
In a good way.
I was like, what? Okay, I keep forgetting about that. It was. I don't think I went back on it, unfortunately, but that's okay. But what I really loved was the consistent going back to, we've kind of left Edge of the Mist, consistent going back and remembering that we are literally a detective agency. Well, this is what we're doing throughout this season. And the theme is still very much there, you know, through the story as you keep going, because that's what we are as the player. And I just made it very literal, I think, from the offset. You know, right in that first season, and you've got all of these articles on tables, and you're in the dead end bar, you're with all your mates. you're hanging out and you're like going through all the evidence and trying to sift through it and understand what's going on. And part of me was like, at the beginning, I was like, oh, there's gonna be so much reading. And I was just like, because I think ever since school, I've just been like reading so much. I'm over it for a while, but also just generally me. And then it was just all voiced, and I was like, thank you so much. I love you. But,
you still had to do some reading because you had to answer the question correctly. This was the one instance where I was like, it's kind of towing the line of being a bit too dialogue heavy.
Whoa!
And too, like, just ever so. And I'm putting myself in other players' shoes because we can't actually skip dialogue. And I did see that pop up on the Reddit a couple times. People were like, I really didn't like the story instance because like you couldn't speed it up. You couldn't really like, you had to sit through everything. So it's just on the line. Personally, I actually love more story, so I'm never going to complain about that. But for, you know, a gaming community's sake, you know, I can see why some people might not have liked this particular instance.
I think this instance maybe like lost some value because we know the answer, right? Like everybody knows it ends with a battle for Lion's Arch. Like back in the day, there were all these hints, right? And the community was sort of speculating. It was like a very popular theory that Lion's Arch would be attacked. Like we were sort of putting the puzzle pieces together. But not everyone was on board and not everyone like really realized. So this instance was really like the big twist. It was like, oh, we're looking back at all the cool stuff you've done. And then at the end, it's like, whoa, they're going to attack Lion's Arch. Which I imagine was more satisfying back then because it was like a big reveal. But now we all already know that's going to happen. So maybe it's lost a bit of its punch, you know? Yeah.
Well, a bigger reveal was if it started off as the current Lion's Arch and was destroyed into the old one.
Yes.
It was. I think it was the different pieces, like finding out about you know why they got together with the Dredge, the Flame Legion, using different parts of like the Dredge drilling equipment and the what was it, the vibration device, I can't remember what the devices were called, but those really science kind of mechanical parts of what the drilling equipment. Yeah, I think so. It was just like knowing those little bits was quite cool. Like the techie kind of nerd inside me was just like, oh, they've really thought about these, you know, these little things. It's like in Star Trek, you know, when they talk about we're gonna, you know, bump up the shield by doing the blah blah blah, etc. Blah blah. I'm not very good at that, obviously, but like, you know what I mean? But like, they came out with some techno babble, which kind of made some sense. I always appreciate that. That's for sure. But it was just kind of, it definitely gave me that detective kind of vibe again, which is what they were going for. Sorry, go on, Fornax.
I was going to say, I think this solidified in the minds of the people who care about the law, the very specific motivations of each of her allies, in, you know, Cormac's allies, her marks. Each faction she manipulated to her ends. What they got out of it, what she got out of it, and the kind of the means to the end that it all was. At the end, even her death didn't matter. Because it was never about winning. Right. It was always like a higher purpose. And so it's the sacrifice of the first dragon champion, because she's literally the first dragon champion of the age who dies in Lion's Arch. And I think that's kind of lost a bit in the significance of that.
She's basically the catalyst for everything.
Yeah.
in the game.
No, she's an engineer, Jebro.
Oh, that's so interesting, though.
Actually, she's a holosmith. Boom. Game.
That's so interesting because, like, the whole dragon champion idea wasn't really introduced back then, right?
Yeah.
Like, we only got that later on with like Arene and like with Jormak, and now you look back, and that's really cool. I hadn't thought of it that way. But yeah, she's basically like the Mortemorph champion. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so true, actually. Yeah, I didn't think about it that
She
way.
cradled Mortemorph like we cradled the egg, but instead of an egg, it was already a giant worm.
Wow.
Just sleeping.
What else I liked about this is, again, there was more conversation with Rox and some other peeps, like just building up their backstory. This was always going on. And every single instance, or something, there was either text to read, or there was some backing up of like audio, just the voice of the characters, and just like, yep, here's some more stuff that we found out about this character. You know, my friend died and all this kind of stuff, and just like passed away as well, and you're like, wow,
partner and all of my friends.
Yeah. And it's just like, there's so much loss, not for everyone. Like, you know, there's Cass, there's Marjorie, which is past and future, obviously. And then there's like Bram, who's just always lost he's just on his own always. And Bram is giving like Rock such a hard time about like wanting to rejoin the warband and stuff, or wanting to join the Stone Warband or whatever it's called. And he's like, you know, you've got a family, you don't want to leave, and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I'm just started analyzing this, like, you know, mental health wise, and I was thinking about, why doesn't he want to? Oh right, yeah, because he's abandoned. He wants his own family and all this kind of stuff. And just
was Timmy an orphan though?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Timmy as well. So there's like.
And the whole conversation in the mist is basically establishing that they're two orphans.
Yeah.
Because his mum, it wasn't his mum, because his father literally stopped them reporting his death to her, so he'd be raised by the community and it wouldn't interfere with her legend in a kind of like non-cultural ethos way. So that's why I think it's super important that they had the conversation in the mist, because people don't understand why they have such a close relationship. And why he does almost mother her, because he feels responsible for it. And he feels this, it's all trauma bonds, right?
Yes.
Same thing with Rox trauma bonded with Bram as well, just because she didn't want to, you know, leave for warband again.
And if you think about it, all of Destiny's Edge is they've all just lost somebody. They've had the dissolution of their friendship and their partnership. They've had a massive loss. So it's all kind of trauma grabbing onto like the new, any vestiges of hope that they can within one another.
If you think about like also what trauma does to different people, so you've got the trauma of all the goodies, the good guys or whatever, and then you've got Scarlet's trauma, like how trauma can send you one way or the other, and that's the really interesting part of it as well.
I think it would have been fantastic and almost surely not going to happen if, as a human, you selected the "I was an orphan" trait line, and then in the middle of their orphan conversation, you go, "Me too."
That would have been so detailed, but really satisfying.
True. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. I'll also say though, playing through all of the season 1 episodes again, it really got me thinking one thing, which is I need to have the continuation of the E storyline. I need to know who the heck E is. He's just like a ball that was dropped, never to be seen again, and it hurts. It hurts me a little bit.
They kind of teased it a little bit, right? At the end of EOD. The end of Dragons, there was like a tiny teaser, like this mysterious character giving you some flowers. Oh, I wonder if we'll see that again. I gotta say though, I think in general, just I always look back at season 1 as like the weakest season. You know, I played it, but I always, when people talk about it who didn't play it, I would always go like, oh well, like it sounds really cool, but it's gotten much better now. The story's much better, but season 1 is much better than I remember. Like there's a lot of like cool.
I think it has something to do with the fact that it was put together properly, nicely for everybody as well. Like,
I loved it. I always loved it. Battle for Lion's Arch is like one. It's true. It's true, Chris. You know,
I was always on board.
A lot of fat as well, though.
It was the reason was the battles for Lion's Arch. That's the reason why I loved it so much, because it was just so cool.
I really like the Tower of Nightmares.
I will say that my overall impression was like episode 1 and 2 felt a little slow. And for me, the season really began on episode 4 and then like blew it out of the water on episode 5.
Yeah, it was really...
That was my experience.
It was a real build. It was very progressive, that's for sure. Agree. Okay. So at this point in the story, this is all on the screen as well. So if you're listening, you're missing a bit. So I'm trying to explain it as well as we go through. And everyone in chat, if you're watching live, yes, we're going to play through the instance. Was returned to Lion's Arch to take it back. So there's going to be a squad going up and whatnot as well. So get in game and stuff. We're going to probably be doing that in the next maybe half an hour or so. And we're going to try and run just our own instance of it. Should be fun. If we get enough people. So get yourself going. We got an emergency mail. We had to go to Lion's Arch because a massive platform had appeared overhead in Lion's Arch, and we're in trouble. So we have to leave the pub, unfortunately. After I talked to Rox, I had this emergency letter, and I was like, oh, Rox is here. We better talk to them quick. A massive emergency, and we got to go back to Lion's Arch. But this was a single-player instance, this one. And I've forgotten about that. I'm not sure if it was that before. I mean, I guess you can play with a party, but you're kind of just guiding people out of Lion's Arch. And we were talking about this, the really slow Dolyak kind of movement, and just people taking people out of the instance and trying to get out before the miasma built up. And I'm like, oh, I've been exploring. I forgot about the miasma. I didn't really get that far, unfortunately. I think I ran out and got out in the end, but yeah, any thoughts about this kind of pre-instance to the main instance, I guess, later on?
It was cool how they brought it back as a story instance, because originally this was there was basically an open world map, right?
Yeah.
And I think there were 2 phases, might even have been 3, but the first phase was basically this story instance. They sort of went like, yo, we take that instance where you run around and save people and there's all these events. And they sort of remixed it into story, which I thought was awesome. So cool that there were even those events, right? You could escort the different NPCs out, and there were the MOAs you could find, and there was the rubble you could go in and found heirlooms and everything. It was just again, I found it very cool how they managed to rework it and how it felt very authentic. It was just how I remembered. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it, but there's a time limit. The time limits kind of stressed me out. I was like, oh no, I have to go fast. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this.
To be fair, there is miasma filling the area.
Yeah. But then at the end I got kicked out and was like, oh, I guess I just let half the people in Lines Arch die. I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Rip.
I mean, the consequences. People did die in Lion's Arch. We weren't able to save Ogden's hammer dude.
Oh yeah.
He's back now, kinda.
Kind of. Speaking of which, walking into that instance is a nostalgia bomb. Talking to the NPCs that you don't find anywhere anymore.
And the bank, where the bank was, and the little thing, and remembering people just dancing and stuff on the platforms just as you come out of the bank, and there's where the side of the stairs is, and where the Mystic Forge was, and really missed that. And I haven't gone back to Lion's Arch, and I hope we do that during this episode so I can kind of live react almost with you all and just be like, oh my god, old school Lion's Arch, so good. But this cinematic was cool as well when you went back in. So good. So I'm going, Crew, if you were going to say something.
And with the escape, I'm glad that they chose this one to be the story instance rather than the Battle 4. I definitely think the Battle 4 Lion's Arch is much more cinematic for a group event. I will say this, I don't know why, but this was the one part of the story that I felt was a bit weak, strangely enough. And I don't know if this was just on my end, but one factor that really stuck out to me was the music. It just felt really empty. I don't know why, but when I was playing it, I was expecting a bit more tenseness. And I know it's kind of a somber instance, but I remarked about the music, I think 5 or 6 times while I was playing it. I was like, it just feels quiet. And there's a bunch of destruction and there should be a lot of people screaming. It just felt like there was something missing. And you just went through the events and then there was just Casimir's well, I ended on Casimir and Casimir was just well, let's leave. And I don't know why. It just felt a little weak to me.
I think I was confused here what the music and sound was on the actual options as well, because the trailer audio was tied to like environment volume or something, and I had it really low, so the trailer was actually, so the actual cutscene was very low anyway leading in, and I think the music box, something even bugged out, it didn't work. So I get what you mean about that. I can't remember specifically though.
That was a problem with a lot of older content that I was always like, when it got released, I was like, it's really weird that this epic moment has no music to it. It's like like when Air died, I guess it was the environment volume down or something, or the UI volume down or something, and Air's death scene was just like a silent scene, and that's weird. It's an odd choice, but okay.
Yeah.
I had the same problem. I will say that I'm so glad that the newer people in the community got to see this map. They did so much work on the environment in Lion's Arch, from the pristine when we first arrive in vanilla to the kind of the destroyed version, and then there's the kind of the version that's in mourning after the battle, after she's dead, and there's loads of monuments to the dead and people crying and people graves and everything. And I thought that was some of, even to this day, some of the best environmental storytelling that they've done. And I'm so happy that the community, even on a timed iteration, is getting to see all that immense amount of work that they had, all the different iterations of Lion's Arch that they created. So I was really, really happy to just, and it was so nostalgic. So nostalgic to just go back. And I can't wait to finish the instance with you tonight. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I almost got kicked out. Well, no, but I kept getting bunted back at different points of this because I was like, oh yeah, let's go. I'm going to go do the things. And I kept getting distracted by rezzing everyone as well. So events kept popping by up and like going. And I was just like, I'm resurrecting people. Fuck off. Go away with the... dolly acts and such, which are a big hint. But there was a very linear track around the instance, right? I felt like it kind of bounced off each other pretty well as you kind of went through the instance, so that was quite cool. I think part of me was definitely like a little bit sad that this wasn't going to be in the actual instance itself, although I've only played the end of it. I haven't actually played the beginning of it, so that's why I kind of wanted to try and start it off from beginning and see where that actually begins. So we'll see. I'll think about that later. But yeah, generally, personally, I thought this was very fun. I feel like I'm with you kind of, Krief, on that. I think there's something, Lorana, you said about the timer as well. The miasma, I totally get the miasma thing, but I'm also like, maybe gives a little bit more time so I can like run around and do the things. I don't think it's necessary to really cut it that fine, especially when it's a story instance. I guess giving you the element of danger is kind of, makes it more immersive and whatnot, though. But yeah, going into Lion's Arch and like seeing like right here, like I was like screenshot, boom, middle of Lion's Arch, the lion's down and destroyed. And that's like, when you see that imagery, you're just like, yeah, Lion's Arch is completely wrecked. Like it's just done. It's over. That was pretty cool. Sad, but cool. Okay. Because we meet all the peeps, we run through. Okay. Oh, this was cool. This was very cool. When we get out of the actual instance itself and the camp, where like there's so much.
The return.
Stuff. You could literally.
The vigil keep.
Oh, you could be here for like days. I feel like just going through all the lore from the other camps and stuff. Like, does anyone want to kind of comment on this before I start creaming over it?
I was just so happy that they included the vigil keep. Oh, yeah. Because like, again, it was such a memory, right? Like during this Battle for Lion's Arch, the vigil keep kind of became the main city. So some of us remember basically like just hanging out there like a lot. And I was just so happy they brought back like all the NPCs and stuff. You could see like the trading post one, and Evan Nash place was there. It's like this piece of like almost like Guild's history for like a little while. The vigil keep was the main city. It just felt really cool being there again and seeing the NPCs and seeing the vigil keep being like a city. It just felt weird because there were no other players, right? It was just like you're running around there, and I remember it being like filled with like a crowd of players, right? But now I was like, oh, I guess the players aren't here. But I was already just really happy seeing it again. The camp was cool too, but for me the highlight was just seeing the visual keep and seeing it in the States where it was like the city, and it made me very nostalgic.
That's the
And
difference.
seeing all the named NPCs. There was so much to get into, and there was so much lore that you could like spend time in. And I was streaming it, and I wanted to like stop and like talk to everybody, but I was like, hey, we already spent 5 minutes doing this one character. Let's move on. But I love that they touched that, because that's also something that could have maybe been like skipped over, because it was more so just like, and this is where everyone is. Okay, we did everything here. Let's go fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, and this is where the Helotron little mini story was as well, which was kind of sweet and cool, and they're quite good. But like, so you could,
And
so
you
there were.
You also find the origins of Goldclaw.
Yeah, that was new.
Oh,
That was like
true.
added in.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
That was
bit.
so cool.
Yeah, he's he was a Lions Guard soldier, and he got turned off by all the violence, and he decided to become an author instead.
Did any
I
of you
missed
see
that.
the hidden book that Goldclaw wrote in this episode?
I
It was like later
No.
on, but it was
on
like
Twitter.
the most meta. Like I was like laughing so hard.
Amazing. I didn't realize.
Basically, there's been this meme in the Guild Wars franchise that if you dance in front of Abaddon, you will die. It started like all the way in Guild Wars 1. If you dance in front of Abaddon before fighting him, he would dance with you, and you would die. And they've sort of brought that back over the years, right?
Oh,
Like
wow.
if you dance in front of an Abaddon statue in Guild Wars 2, you get like lasered and stuff. And now there's this Snargle book about how Abaddon actually had this furious relationship with Doom, and they used to love to dance, and then Doom was like cast out as a fallen god, and now Abaddon is like, I will never dance with anyone else. If someone tries to dance with me, it will not end well for them. I was like, this is amazing.
Oh
They
my
tied
God.
everything together.
That's so
And I think-
cool.
Oh my god.
I think that was
Thanks for that.
the way I understand it is that was written by Connor Fallon, and it was
Yes.
actually
Extra
yeah,
life, right?
yeah, and it was just they finally were able to put it into game.
So cool.
That's cool. I didn't know any of that, so thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, like, there was just so many options. So I was like that as well. I was just like, I want to get through to the next bit. Also remembering there are 2 other camps, right? In the live, which is why all of the
Yeah.
hologram kind of information is here. Because there's one in there's one in the Norn. There's a Norn map. The ones that surround Lion's Arch, right? I'm guessing. So there was all of that content that you would have missed if you hadn't been there at the time, because this is why the Vigil Keep has not got the players in it, because it doesn't make any sense to anyone running around now, right? Like they can't instance that stuff that well. Whereas in ESO, for example, they do instance things like that. Small scale though, not on like a large scale, and it's easier because it's more zone story than world story, if you will. But yeah, it's really awesome. You can go back and watch some of those, because I can't remember a lot of it, honestly, and it is really good banter. It's good banter, it's good lore building, it's good world building. There's so much in there, it's just a lot to go through. But it's good that it's there, because you can just go back there and look at it whenever you want. So that's cool. That's very awesome. And just checking out all the little stories around, and like you said, the book, I need to go and check that out. And how they've got the waypoint, they've got the portals as well there. So it's very much like a base camp, like base of operations near the keep as well. It's cool. It's very awesome. And then we go back here. Is there anything else we want to say about this camp kind of experience? I think we're good. Oh yeah, Evan Nashblade being a dick, but awesome dick. Like just the best dick.
The best dick interior.
Thank you, Griff. It was. I did laugh. I've got to admit. I'm just like, wow, Evan. Damn, like really
Best
salty.
Dick Interior. Is there any Snargle Goldclaw books about Evan Nashblade?
That's true.
There should be.
It should
Maybe
be.
Snargle
I'm just
and
wondering
Evan.
who does your research. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, Evan Nashblade was like pretty mean about like Ellen. Like was just like, I pretty much hope she's dead. Like just straight up like, cool. I hope she died. Like what? Jesus Christ, Evan. I supported
my.
you. I've got your buttons still. I should have worn those while I was running around. Had the little Evan Nash blade button above my head. Still got those. And then back to the instance, but I hit the instance right at the end. So if you don't want spoilers for this, we're about to go play it. Phoenix, don't watch the stream. I actually just caught the
my
end.
eyes. It's fine.
We'll talk about
does not
that.
know the story of season 1.
We'll talk about that. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't actually remember this instance much at all now. Like looking like I can't remember these bosses specifically, and the build up to it. So we'll have to remember that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna skip that. We're just gonna go battle of the Breechmaker, on the Breechmaker. Sorry. So you finish that instance where you go back to LA. You're kind of taking it back. You're destroying all the forces, which is many. You know, there are a lot of mobs everywhere, from all the different, tons of different races and everything else and factions that Scarlet brought together, which I thought there was this one diagram. I'm going to go back to kind of Scarlet's hideout where you had to go through that wall to get through, and you got all the information, and you found out about Omad and all the experiments and the history of Scarlet. And there was a diagram about the factions and races, and they talked about how you could understand like how manipulative she was and how she really used these kind of, I guess, the aggression between different factions and races to really manipulate different people to come to her aid and to help her out, to like form this like massive pact against like basically us. And it was just really interestingly done. I loved a lot of that, and like the Omad story and putting Scarlet into this machine and all the information about how she was just evil. Like, and there was these kind of laughing and cries coming out during it. I was like, wow, imagine if we saw all this stuff, because it's kind of horrific, honestly. Like all of these kind of experiments on Scarlet and stuff. I was just like,
yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think that she is the evil character. I think that Ciara was possibly on the spectrum. I'm autistic, so I can feel that. But
You don't think so?
no, I don't think I don't think she was evil. I think that she was almost amoral. She was as before, because she was taken over by the Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that I found from this episode was that when I think it was Vork said, when you go into Omad's machine, it's an exploration of yourself. You don't. There's nothing in there. Whatever's in there you bring with you, and because of the nature of Sylvari, and because of the kind of the walls that the pale tree built up around her offspring, so that they couldn't be corrupted by the Elder Dragon, the shattering of that wall allowed him to manipulate. He's the dragon of mind, right? So he literally manipulated her, tortured her for days inside the machine, and then when she came out, she was still trying to fight him. She went to the healers in the grove. She was trying to push him. She was trying to fight back. She was trying to retain, because her whole point was, and I think Jury said it, and she walled herself off from the pale tree because she didn't want to be controlled, like the soundless ones. Which is another faction of Sylvari, who don't want to be part of the cacophony of the hive mind, and because so it's an even worse invasion of herself, because she was striving for independence and knowledge. So I feel like Scarlet is entirely an invention of Mordramoth. And it's the absolute corruption of her. It's the worst possible fate for anybody, especially someone who values her independence so much. So I don't think she's evil. I think that she is possessed and corrupted.
So she becomes evil. Could you say?
She's the avatar of his ambition.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it felt like as Mordramoth was still asleep, it was almost like they knew the information, considering what we learned in season 2 with Kaith and Fallon and the other Sylvari, that the Sylvari did know that they were minions of Mordramoth, but then I think that information was like somehow walled off and like kept secret. And then going into the machine, as you had mentioned, like kind of revealing that, it almost became her wild hunt with the Sylvari, as they always have like that purpose. And I don't think Kiara like was able to kind of deal with it. I don't know if it was like Mordremoth directly. It could have been. Because it's kind of wishy-washy because he was asleep, so
really
like
know,
how much you don't really know. It's up for interpretation, but I always like to view that as like her wild hunt, not to kill an elder dragon, but to wake it, and putting Kiara and Scarlet as that champion of Mordremoth is a really cool like mindset that like I was like, oh wow, I never really put it in that light, but I think that's a good way of branding it.
There's a comment in the chat that if she was corrupted by Mordremoth, wouldn't Sylvari commanders have that same problem? And we do. If you play through the Heart of Thorns as a Sylvari, there are several moments in the story where you are confronted, where you are overwhelmed, where there's like specific dialogue for you as a Sylvari character. And I always recommend, if you roll an alt, roll a Sylvari, play through Heart of Thorns, because it feels a very different expansion. Because you're seeing your kind being vilified and attacked by the Pact. You're kind of torn between the two factions because you feel compassion for the Sylvari who have had their will usurped, just like Ciara did. And you're trying to fight it, but then again, you understand that they have to be corralled for their own safety and the safety of everyone around them. And it's a very interesting experience going through it. And I highly recommend it. But yes, the commander is absolutely vulnerable, especially in the end instance. There are a few tottery moments at the end as well, where you're confronted with the overwhelming impulse to give into your nature that has been subverted by the Pale Tree.
Awesome. Love that analysis. It's good. It's good stuff. It reminded me of when you're talking about Scarlet and Kiara, which is spelt weirdly with a C, which is why Harold said that Ciara, because that's how it probably should be said, but it's not a K, it's a C. So it's weird. And then they say Kiara, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but hey, we live in a fantasy world. How do you spell
car?
Don't take my pronunciation for anything. I'm dyslexic, so don't.
It was EA afterwards. Anyway, shush you. You're right, but that's still.
Is it EA?
Is it E? It's EA, isn't it?
I think it's CEER. I could be totally wrong.
I can't
remember. That's okay.
Anyway.
Nevertheless.
It was interesting how both of the English people thought it was said that way. Anyway, so and English doesn't make much sense, honestly.
Very true. Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought about not multiple personality disorder, because it's called dissociative disorder now, where there are different personalities within you, and you dissociate and you start to bring on the other ones for protection and different stuff, which is a bit different to this, because this is more of like Mordred or whoever, like trying to manipulate, and then Scarlet's kind of born, which is, so it's kind of a little bit in that vein, but then that suggests different levels of good and evil and etc. within us all. And
I think it's more akin to a traditional possession.
Yeah,
there's another consciousness overlaid on her, subverting her will.
Yeah, makes complete sense. And you mentioned the next instance as well, which is where we are. Ta-da! I completely forgot about this fight, and apparently it's exactly the same. Is it exactly the same?
I'm a bit sad about it, because this fight...
Lay it on thick.
And this fight used to basically be the end of the open world meta. Like, you would do the meta, you would capture stuff, and then you would like fight the different like Evacuation, and then after that you would go up with everyone and you would fight Scarlet on the Breechmaker. But they reworked it so that this part is now in the story instead. So I was doing the meta, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, we're gonna go up on the Breechmaker, and then it just kind of ended, and I was like, oh wait, aren't we gonna go up and fight Scarlet? But they put it in the story and stuff.
I think it's actually a technical issue.
Right.
That's my guess, because it was an open world thing before, and that brought you there. Now, yeah, maybe. Maybe that's
the way they did it with the Tower of Nightmares is like they could have just like put a platform at the very top where you just teleport up, because the Tower of Nightmares you just teleport to the different levels.
Yeah.
It could have been in the same instance. I feel like there would be ways to go around it. Maybe it was just too much, but it's not a huge arena.
I completely forgot.
Maybe
that's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe they thought it was too long, right? Because Otherwise, it would be quite a long meta. Not entirely sure, but I remember thinking like, oh, I'm so sad we don't get the cool fights on the Breechmaker. But then I went to do the story, and it was there. So I was sort of relieved. I was like, oh, I thought it got scrapped, but it's still there. It's just in the story.
I completely forgot this even happened.
And Obi points out in chat, like, I thought that this was going to be the strike mission.
Yeah,
and actually playing in the story, I was like, this still feels like a strike mission. So if they ever need to, years down the line, and they're like, well, we have a little bit of a moment, we can maybe just do a strike mission. Just, repurpose this.
Oh, they could easily
It'll have been
do
years.
That. This is a good fight, actually.
There are multiple mechanics of positioning, of getting the colors, of managing ads, and add some break bar phases and shockwaves to it. And it's like, it feels very much like a strike mission to me, but I liked this instance. It was good. It was a nice boss fight.
It's weird being being an engineer and fighting this as well, because you're like, right, so this is where Elder Smith came from. I completely forgot. It's just like, this is the literal elite ability. Like, it's the same thing. So that was actually very, very cool. Just as an engineer, I wish there was some kind of banter there, like kind of Boots was saying, like, about the orphan kind of thing. Your choices kind of came in. Oh, look, she's blah blah blah. Anyway.
Oh, well, Hollow-Smith only came like way later, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is where they must have based it off of, I guess. Like, we didn't know at the time. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Oh yeah. It wouldn't have made any sense. So yeah, completely. It was a long fight as well. It was a long fight.
In fact,
I did it with 3 people, so it wasn't long for me.
Oh, okay.
You make a very good point. They probably should have restricted, while playing through all of these original episodes, us to playing core specs instead of any of the elite specs. We should have had to only do...
That'd have been interesting.
What?
Can you imagine? If
I
that
like
was a
my
thing?
toys. I like my Hollow-Smith weapons.
That's fair enough.
I want to give those away.
Yeah, I didn't do this with anyone else. I normally do them solo because I'm just like, I want to see what that solo experience is like. But it was pretty long, but it was okay. It felt quite hectic and actually kind of dangerous as well a lot of the time. I was like, I did get low HP a few times, and I was like, I just liked the different mechanics, the different holograms, and it just felt like, felt like a good end boss fight. Yeah, it was enjoyable for me personally. I do miss that fact. I actually completely forgot, Lara, that this was a squad kind of. Well, we didn't have squads then, but like it was a more public instance. So yeah, I forgot about that, and it would be cool to have that experience again, I think. But they definitely broke that up.
Yeah,
made it smaller for sure.
I think this would have probably been a more satisfying ending to the Battle for Lion's Arch instance, because you fight the 3 watch nights and then it's just over, and it feels so separated as a group event, where having that moment for all of us to come together at the same time to then fight the final boss, it probably would have maybe had a better impact for the instance. And then in that way you could just like lessen the health of the watch nights or something, so it's not super long.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea.
I think actually back then, this was actually kind of hard. I think it's failed like many times.
You're right,
There's like this whole mechanic of like getting the colors and stuff. I wonder like how much of a challenge it would have been to bring it back. But honestly, though, this patch, in my opinion, was like so good. This is like the one thing I was disappointed about. But there was so much other good stuff that I didn't really mind it too much.
Awesome. Okay.
I have no opinion. I haven't played it yet.
Sorry.
I believe you all. It looks amazing.
Well, Scarlet ran away because Scarlet was kind of in trouble and downstated because Scarlet's not like, she just got wrecked. And then you're back in the end. You're back at the end, if that makes sense. And then you've kind of got, the big old knockback on Cass and also Rox as well. And there's you, Bram, and Marjorie, who are kind of okay. But you're left with the responsibility for kind of downstating Scarlet. Well, like Bubbles coming up, and it's just a little bit annoying. You've got it's kind of always annoyed the hell out of me for some reason. Even though I had stability, I was getting knocked back. I was like, the core mechanic of the game is stability is a lie.
You gotta hit her first. I also forgot about that. I was like, why do I keep getting knocked back?
Yeah, I got knocked back like 3 times before I remembered what to do. It was like, felt a bit silly. Yeah, this is cool. This is a very cool little cinematic, and it just, reminding you of what happened back in the day and whatnot as well. But yeah, any comments about this? How we felt about, kind of the end being here and the end of season 1, episode 5 and whatnot, and what came from this kind of end sequence?
Oh, this wasn't the end, Jebro.
Well,
there were like two other instances after this.
The end of the
end of Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah.
And the beginning of Mordramoth.
I really liked this instance.
Yeah.
The cutscene at the end with like the magical thing waking up the dragon and stuff. It was so cool. Like just as cool as when I played it all those years ago. One thing that I did note though is that I feel like they've gotten much better at doing like character animations and cutscenes. Like it felt a little bit. You could sort of tell that they were just getting started.
Do you mean the
and that
kissing?
Yeah, and then like over the years
The
they've gotten better.
shaking.
I thought
Just
the kissing
having
was
those
alright.
permanent
I think it was
shake.
good enough though, but it was like right, it used to be like this. They've gotten a little bit better at that in like EOD and all the new expansions.
Yeah,
It was a
Marjorie.
cool instance.
What's her name? Casimir's gotten better at putting on her eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when like the actual like expression of the characters' faces like going
Yeah.
up, and sometimes the texture just like starts to like
To
get really
stretch-
blurry. and
Stretch when she closes
stretches.
her eyes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm remembering now.
Good old 2012, 2013 era.
I was
We
gonna
love it.
say, yeah, it was very much a mark of the time more than anything else.
yeah.
For sure.
It
Yeah.
holds up well enough. It's just more
think
like,
so.
wow, I guess they've come really far, It's sort of like, because, they sort of improve their tech and animations kind of gradually. You don't really notice it as much. Does that make sense? Like, you're just like, oh, it was
Yeah.
a little bit better than the last time, a tiny bit better than the last time.
I will say though that when EODs came out,
Mm-hmm.
I did specifically say, wow, they did a really good job with the animations
That's
this
true,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that scene when you're on the beach and then your character's there and Rama like looks down. I was like, that's so small, but it's so effective.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah, it was good. Okay, and we got probably one of the biggest moments in Guild Wars 2 history. The kiss like between Cass and Marjorie as well. Very cool moment. I don't think many people are gonna forget.
Cute.
But yeah, it was cute as well. Oh god. No, now I can't unsee the makeup thing. Thank you so much.
I love that she goes from being like limp and nearly dead to like, I'm alive. Oh, you're kissing me. It's very like, I have a pounding headache.
That probably helped.
Why is your face in my face?
It was very much like it was important. It was an important moment. It was a good, kind of a good moment to do it, but also in retrospect, probably not like appropriateness wise. It was like I think she's doing it a lot of like it's, obviously they love and care about each other.
Oh,
a lot,
100%.
but Cass
I'm
is
just
like in shock as well afterwards, and is shaking there, and I'm like, damn, they need to get the fuck out of it, and like not in a good way, people. And they kind of sit around and talk for a bit, and then you guys just escape. But yeah, it was a very
Do we think
Awesome part.
Marjorie should have died here?
no.
Oh, that was the whole thing, right? That was
That was the whole
I
like
don't think
data
so.
mine that she died here.
I don't think
I'm
so.
sorry, hang on.
Oh,
No, definitely not.
She
No.
was too good to die.
No,
she's
no,
one of the
no.
best. She's one of the
Yeah,
best characters
she's
in
great.
the game. And I like her
It's
a
not-
lot.
she's good.
I'm glad
It's
she didn't.
also a horrific trope that goes on that lesbians in
Yes.
stories get died,
That
killed,
would've been-
murdered, suicide. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that would have been very bad. I think it
Yeah.
would be worse now than then, but like it definitely wouldn't have been good. But yeah, this is the instance as well that Laura, the video that Laura said, which was very cool, which was very, very different as well. I think style-wise at times, this was the original kind of sketchy art style that Guild Wars 2 had, but with like motion in it as well, which I did love, which we don't see all that often anymore. I kind of missed that. Yeah, more drama
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was good.
Very good.
And they were working on Heart of Thorns during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Yeah, right. They knew all the story. so much. Very cool.
And that particular shot of in the jungle with Morchmoth's mouth opening, it's like we didn't know if there was going to be an expansion because it went into season 2 immediately after. But I went on the art station, and at the time of developing this, it was titled For Heart of Thorns. So like they knew like well in advance, but like they still kept us along for a whole nother season before telling us that they were working on an expansion.
Didn't they announce before season 2 came out that they were going to do an expansion?
No, because
it was at the end of season 2.
Well, the thing is that also we didn't know that they weren't going to carry on with Living World stuff at that point in time either. Like all we knew was that they weren't going to do those one-off kind of events because they tested it, I think, in that point, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We didn't know there was going to be an expansion until 2015 in January, which is the panel I attended with Bogota, Rory Peachy, and Krennic Gamer. And it was like, so at this point in time, I think we were like, maybe it's just going to be another season, and that's how it's going to be, rather than an expansion, because they had sworn, they were like, no mounts, no Trinity, no raids, no expansions. It's all going to be Living World content. So we didn't even know.
Where we are now.
Yeah. We completely change around because they couldn't do that. If the MMO genre had died and they'd made Guild Wars 2 later, maybe they could have done that. But like, setting it as an MMORPG, there's just certain things you need to have for people to connect to it and be like, I want mounts, I want raids, I want hard content, like group content and all this kind of stuff. And it's fine.
I seem to remember content drought as well. Between season 1 and season 2, there was a massive when they were kind of they changed the paradigm of the game in that time. They kind of reevaluated everything they wanted to do, which is why we have season 1 now because of that shift. And I'm glad that they've introduced it 100%.
Okay, well, we escape, do the things. I looked around a bit for a while to see if there's anything to grab. Then I was in the north for a while. And then we just kind of finished this off. It was kind of like, the follow-up, I guess. And we were talking, there was just loads of little jokes, and it was just fun. And it was a good setup for what was going to be season 2, but / like the Zephyrite, right? And Master of Peace. We had the bar stuff. I'm trying to remember.
Look at those shadow dynamics.
I know, it's pretty well, like on the back, I actually kind of like that. I like because it gave the bar.
That reminds me of Or, when you're at that one statue in Malcor's Leap. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, and Bram had hurt his leg. Oh no, Belinda came in. I forgot about this bit. Oh no, I feel bad already. Sorry, Belinda. I think on the stream, I was just like, oh no, I'm sorry. Just like, you don't know. I think Reader Geek said something. It was like, request a transfer or something like that. I was like, oh,
we have to go back and change the balls.
Yeah. Oh, God. That was interesting.
Fix the timeline.
Yeah, fix the timeline. That'd be interesting.
Good episode, though. Yeah. Solid episode to finish out a season and then to lead into season 2.
Absolutely. I think we're going to leave that for everyone else to glean all the information they want from that. Not bad rewards as well. There was this end reward box with the weapons from Lion's Arch, which are very nice, honestly. They're just very cool, kind of remnants of Lion's Arch. There's like bits of ship wheels and stuff kind of hanging off, rope and things from like the rigging and different parts of rigging as well in the weapons, like the short bow and the long bow are actually very different skins. This is the reward box at the end of the once you've done it all, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. And you got like a 20 slot bag as well, so the rewards actually were pretty cool for this. And there is another reward which Lara knew about for years before anyone else did.
Yeah.
Actual literal years. Do you want to tell us what
doing moon blood rituals to summon this into reality.
What was that about, Lara? What am I talking about?
So they, when the first episode of season 1 came back, people found this achievement. Very often in the Living World season, they've got like one achievement, which involves doing like all the meta achievements for all the episodes. So for season 3, at least like Aurora, and season 4 at least to Vision. So there was one for season 1, And back then it was just like a question mark item, so nobody really knew what it was. But the collection was called Lion's Memory. The item had like this description, which was like time heals all wounds. So a lot of people saw that, and when like time heals all wounds, Lion's Memory, Memory of Lion's Arch, like could this be like a way to go back to old Lion's Arch? This is something that's a lot of us like veterans have been like sort of dreaming about for years. And like it was like there were some people speculating about it. And then I made a video about it. I went like all in. I was like, this is happening. So I made sort of this conspiracy video going like, is old Lion's Arch coming back? And it turned out we were right. The community actually like got this correctly. And like for the last 6 months, I keep bringing this up on my stream like once a week where I'm like, oh, we might go back to old Lion's Arch. And every time there would be people like, no, there is no way they would do that. They would charge gems for it, or like that would be too tricky to do. They wouldn't put it behind an achievement. And I'm like, yo, but look at the title though, Lion's Memory. It has to be that. And I was right. I'm really happy. I didn't even believe it anymore at the end. Like at the end, I was like, no, I'm hoping it's this, but I don't think so. But it was actually a Lion's Arch launch boss. So heck
and it's a great addition. It's a basically like one of the, I mean, basically kind of like one of those, Mistlock Sanctuary kind of things for free for people with the core game. What I would say is that it would be great if when you double click it to return to the world, it doesn't just return you to normal Lion's Arch, it returns you back to where you originally clicked on it.
True.
That would be a great improvement, yeah.
Okay, I'm inviting people as well right now. Just think, like, keep going on, keep thinking about your things. But I'm starting to invite people while we're talking. I thought we could get this done.
Right. But other than that, I think it's fantastic. Exactly what I wanted. I'm very, very happy, and yeah, it's lovely.
And speaking about portals taking you to places where you originally were, the Battle for Lion's Arch instance, the portals to leave will only take you to Eye of the North instead of taking you to Gandharn Fields if you need to, or like back to where you first spawned in. And it just feels it'd be nice if that also was kind of changed if you wanted to leave through the gate to go back to Lion's Arch rather than going to Eye of the North. There's a little thing.
A little thing like that.
Yes, everyone. Thank you for noting that the names on everything is linked to other files. So I just have to move some things around. I'm sorry, Fornax has been called Boots and Boots has been called Fornax from time to time, but I'm sure they don't mind a little bit of a switch for a little while because they're both awesome anyway.
Keeps things flexible.
I'm down for some crossplay. Yeah, it's cool.
Some cross-pollination.
Honestly, I'm so happy. I don't often achievement hunt. I am not an achievement whore. If there's a shiny, maybe, but I'm definitely going for this one. I have been whining like a whiny bitch about wanting Lion's Arch back for so long. So very happy, super happy. What would be the cherry on the top is, if you remember, the first Halloween with the corruption of the Lion's Arch fountain. If they could do that every year inside the new instance, I would be like, Daddy, I want a pony, happy. Very happy.
Popping out of there?
Someone, popping out of my fountain every year. That would be me happy.
Amazing. Okay. Who else needs an invite to this? Sorry, I'm just trying to get invites going as well. I apologize.
I still need one.
Okay, I'm in.
Oh my gosh.
Do you wanna do the squad join thingamajig? I've got it in the chat as well for people who do want to join.
on my friends list, Laura?
I don't think I've got you.
I don't think you do. I'm usually on the lands of the EU.
Are you on? Do you want to come and join us over here? I'm trying to see your name, maybe. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, let me add you as a friend. Oh no,
I did hear from that shaman that given the coding of the instance, it seems like it probably won't be updated for festivals. But
yeah, that makes sense. Because it doesn't have any of the layers.
Don't spoil my dreams, okay? A girl can dream.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to leave this open. If anyone wants to join our squad, we're going to go in and try and get this instance done as a squad at least. And if we can't, we can jump in afterward and try again. I'm going to say I'm going to have a 2-minute break because I need to go to the bathroom. If anyone else wants to, you are welcome to also have a break. But if people want to talk about the thing still, they are very welcome to, or Guild Wars 2 or banter while I just quickly nip out and maybe we see people fill up this squad. That would be very cool. So if you want to go and have a 2-minute bathroom/coffee grab, feel free to.
I'm gonna go
That's a
make
good
a
idea.
chicken
I'll be right back.
salad.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
right
go
back.
Okay,
real quick.
we'll
Let's
be
go do
right
some
back,
gameplay.
peeps. I promise we'll be right back. If you want to join exclamation mark squad, do the squad join thing. People will be right back with you in a moment. Okay, people.
Oh, Bobby's here. Bobby Stein.
Yep.
Hey, yo.
Did we all come back with food?
I've got pizza and I brought
Oh.
scotch.
I have a handful of tortilla chips.
Amazing.
I have a Coke.
Oh gosh.
I ate my my protein bar during the thing.
Okay, who do we got? We
Pizza,
got
right?
Jet, me, Kroof, Fornax. We got Lara. We got... Who's Hestia the Gano?
We may not be able to do this as a squad with like 10 people, just saying. So we may need more people.
We could throw us up on the LFG.
That's true, actually.
Very cool.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
my
sure.
character is weird, by the way. Every time it opens its mouth, I'm eating something. So sorry.
Period.
Interesting. Okay. I've got my spinal blades as well on. I themed myself for, well, just that. Otherwise, everything else is pretty new. I actually got that new helmet hood thing off the training post as well, because it looks so cool. Just looks
Hello.
awesome.
Welcome back.
Hello, welcome back. Okay, anyone else want to join us? I'm going to pop it on the LFG as well. Yeah, we're going to do the whole immersive experience.
Bobby is here.
So
I
last show.
Showing off his beautiful tag there.
Invite, please. Yep, there's really as well.
I wonder if he's playing on a Steam Deck.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Oh, is
I
Bobby here?
apologize for all the bad things I've ever said about the game. I love it always and forever.
Oh my god.
I told you earlier that a lot of Marrionette devs watch this, so I'm pretty sure you're fine.
You can never be too cautious.
I mean,
Please don't fire me, sir.
they've known me for a long time. If I've not been fired, I'm pretty sure most people are okay.
I'll
Okay.
just have to one-up you. Is that a
Oh
challenge?
shoot, Scarlet Briar's here.
Damn it. Wait, say, huh?
Scarlet Briar is here.
Oh my god, I'm the only one not in this
Someone have
instance.
used the tonic. Like you can get a new
yes.
combat tonic from the strike, and you can look like Scarlet.
I mean,
And you can fight a Scarlet as a necromancer.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes, chat, if you want to join us. If you want to join
Boots.
us, you can indeed.
You're looking pretty snazzy, Boots. I like the fit.
you will hear a lot of chewing noises.
Great.
Okay,
The
we're
cape.
chilling.
The cape is very much a statement piece.
Oh, I love Lilu Dallas's name.
Like big boots? Okay.
That is the best movie. I love The Fifth
very
Element. That is
good.
amazing.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, one of my faves for sure. Where am I putting this? Is it Central Tier? Where am I putting this? Living World.
I think people are doing it in. Oh gosh, there
Probably
was an
Central
area.
Tier,
Central
Probably
Tier
put it in
Squad.
Central Tier Squads,
Yeah. Let's do. Should we call it Lightbringers?
I need to know just do like Battle for Lions Large Squad.
Fine.
You
But
gotta
my
keep
game
it.
full screen, so if my character goes weird, I apologize. Just ignore her.
Okay. And
By the
will
way,
be
did any
healing
of you do the new collection from Extra Life? That was like really fun. That was
Yes.
like
Yes.
I was
Yeah. one thing I
blown
didn't
away
see.
by that collection.
I
That was
loved
fantastic.
it. It was like lighthearted fun, but also like a lot of good meaty lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also
Mesmer
referenced
Collective.
Abaddon and dancing, which is fun.
It was just how. It was a lot of the jumping puzzle kind of awesomeness that was.
Yeah.
But it was like I enjoyed it, but also and it was fine. But also I'm glad you didn't have to do all of them. Like you just could run around like and grab on your mount and try and find all the things and the little markers and stuff. It was kind of a little tiny bit frustrating sometimes, but there was loads of people doing it at the same time. And it was cool that I was in the studio and they're releasing the hints, so I think that kind of live experience would have been cool if I had been doing it then. But I was like, I can't do it. I'm just
And the invisible chair. Hold on, we all have
Yeah.
to like.
I've got it somewhere. Oh no, it's a hot air balloon. My bad.
I like this pose. It's very. It's not like a T pose, but it feels powerful enough. It's like lowercase T pose.
Yeah, it's great. There's 3 versions, isn't there? There's 3 like
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
settings, right? That's cool. I need to actually make sure I get this going. I'm just doing this while we're waiting for the squad
I still
to
think the
split up.
ordering on the Norn is off, if I'm not mistaken.
The ordering?
Like the first ability is like serious, but for Norn female, I think they like swapped the first and the second pose for the buttons.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the Asura ones actually. Like the Asura one's great. That's cool. What's this one? Oh yeah, that one when you kind of just like sitting forward. They're cool. Very good. How many people do we
Wow.
need for this? What do you think?
Not sure actually.
Like
I'm not sure if
20,
it scales.
Probably. It probably does scale. I'd say like safe bet 20, 25.
Do we
I
wanna
don't think you need a full 50.
Shall I?
I've been talking, but my mic was off the whole time because
Wow.
Cool. What piece did you have?
and then I just turned it back on so that you could hear me chew again.
Yeah, thank you so very much.
Shall I like move people between groups? Do we need 3 groups? I guess.
We should split up. I can do squad 3. If you can
Okay.
assign us lieutenant, I'll take the south.
I can do that for sure.
I think it does it automatically. Like
It
if you
might
enter,
actually. Yeah.
What, it
it
separates
already
people?
like
Really?
it already puts like some people north and some people south and some people west. Like it kind of splits you up already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we just do it that way, I guess. Or like if Kroof and whoever else wants to go. Lorana, do you want to do a squad?
Sure.
Okay.
Whoever wants
I've actually,
alacrity, come with me.
And then those people, well, we'll separate. And if you're close to whatever boss, you'll go to that one. But then Lorana
Yeah.
and Kroof can just go to the bosses we talk about when we go in there. I'm sure I'll be fine. Let's wait for a couple more people. Is everyone good to like in chat? Is anyone not involved that would like to be uninvolved? Uninvolved? Involved?
Uninvolved.
Uninvolved.
I'd
Yeah.
like to. Can I please step out? I really don't want to do this.
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
I see quite some of my chat regulars, but I think most of them are on EU, so I don't
Yeah,
think they can
that's
join.
okay.
them.
That's okay.
Someone's calling me
so
out in
sad.
chat for chewing with my mouth open.
Anyone
Called
else
out.
want to join !squad? Also, if you want to join the Discord as well, you can go and hang out with other people that might want to chat while you're doing it. It's up to you. It will just be our community Discord rather than the Lightbringers one.
Yes.
If you want.
Yes, get on that torch. You gotta get on the torch.
Oh my god.
If you want to run group support stuff with utility, I've just switched over to, I think, the quickness
Perfect.
for Scrapper, and that's all really.
I'm just enjoying some nipples while we're waiting. Jake Moves has some amazing nipple going on. Thank you, I appreciate it. But you know,
I think we've just invented the new
Oh, God.
decoration for the entrance to Lion's Arch.
We're doing
how
good.
it should be
We're
from
doing
now on.
good.
Oh my god,
Love it.
siege turtle decorations.
Oh,
tiny,
Bobby's
tiny
turtle's
pink
way
nipples.
bigger.
Funnily enough, talking about decorations and kind of tying this to the strike mission, the strike mission rewards also include new decorations, which are the Lion's Arch lion fountain statue thing.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that because now really gonna need to get that. Probably. I'm sorry.
It's a very fun strike
That is
mission.
not me forcing them to get it, by the way. That's them probably just wanting to get it. And there's Angry Zorik just like, what? One thing I do like about the podcast, and I wanted to always like chuck in gameplay and stuff as well. I thought that was, not many people do that, so I actually thought that was quite cool. We're gonna go in, as long as everyone's ready. Maybe I can do a ready check for
No.
everyone. That's a big ready check.
Still got some
You need to,
parkour on my turtle to do.
okay.
I mean, could we actually just go into the public instance and then, or we could just do a private? I don't
I would
know.
rather
Whatever
do
you
the
want to
private
do.
so we can do it from the start. Yeah, even if we don't see. Actually, how do I do? Oh yeah, shit. Talk to the guy.
Where's the child who swings on the thing around here?
Oh yeah.
Tears I put in.
I can't remember actually.
who with the what now?
Here's a Bower. Put a bunch of children swinging on stuff all over maps.
Oh, there's one in the World v World jump puzzle, isn't there?
There is.
And there's one in
I
PvP.
think there's supposed to be one around here somewhere. I forget where though.
Oh, is I thought it was like off in the distance and you can't see it, or is that the world? That's not the World v World map.
No, I think you're right. I think it's out off in the distance here.
Can't see them. I don't know if it's here though.
Okay.
In like a random child having fun or child hanging in peril type, which
Having
No,
fun.
it looks fun. It looks fun.
I mean, they don't let go, so their hands are probably in peril, but
I mean, I'm down for either. Small children can be annoying, just saying.
oh my god, you're like, tie me. Example A.
Okay, the Battle for Lion's Arch Private Squad. Here we go.
Lego. It does say 10 to
Weirdest.
50, so it probably does scale to 10, maybe. I don't know.
Exciting.
Oh, it could be a little difficult with 10, though, when we get to the 3 bosses.
If we,
Yeah.
it does not. Oh no, I am seeing other people at waypoints.
Oh,
There's only 2 though. Oh no, there you go, south as well.
I'll go down
I'm
south.
I'm at the north.
Follow me.
So north people, we're just going into the center there. Proof you're going south, and then
I'm
Loranity.
with Lara.
Lara, you want
I'm
to
with
go
Boots.
east? Are you on the east
I
side?
wish
We're
I could,
on
like-
we're on east now, yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could, like, squat up or, like, have a
I need
marker.
a safety Dorito. Somebody put the mark over their head so I know who to follow.
If I leave the party now, will it kick me out? I don't want to try it.
Don't bother. Like, put a
think
target
it does.
over. I mean, all you got to do is go towards
Oh.
the circle, you know.
If you give us lieutenant, we probably can mark ourselves.
Okay, let me do that. Point lieutenant. There you go. Got it
How
for
do
you
you
two.
mark yourself?
I think
I
you
did
have to,
it
like,
on the
curse
circle.
over it.
Okay, I will follow you.
Is it the alt, whatever? I mean,
Yeah, it's like alt shifts and then a number.
Are we murdering things
Oh,
on
there
the
we
way
go.
there? Are
Yep.
we-
I got it.
or-
Yes.
Yep, right. Okay. Oh, gosh, this is...
One thing I brought a heal lack specter into this, but if I remember correctly, there's not much healing to be done.
when you got alacrity,
You can heal. It's actually, like, sometimes
you.
helpful in this.
yeah, I don't think it's
agree
meant
with
to
having
be.
alacrity.
It's not meant to be like a hardcore, difficult instance, right? Because it's core Guild Wars 2 content. I think that most of this is supposed to be pretty.
Oh, shirt balls, they're fighting over there. Thank you, whoever rubbed me. I appreciate it.
Please.
That's
I
what
don't
I
like to
say
be
all-
friends with the floor.
Quickly rub an idiot, yeah.
Oh my god, the purple shroud on thingy. I don't see that often because I don't really see many
That's me.
people.
Yeah,
it was
it's
you.
cool.
It was you. It's very cool.
Yeah, some people don't like it too much because they're afraid they have to heal the person who's gone purple.
True.
But
I'm just glad I know that I don't have to heal you when you're purple.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mind switch. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
purple. Don't even bother.
yeah,
So-
good point.
I'm gonna have a look at the map and see where everyone else is. Everyone else is kind of near the primary foothold over here, Fort Marrionette over there. I remember mostly going in from Fort Marrionette before. I think that's where it mostly started, wasn't it? I can't remember if it did. Did it do this originally? Put you all into different sections of the map? I can't remember.
I really
No, I
can't
think
remember.
I always start at the same place whenever I used to do it in the public
So,
instance.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
Fort Marrionette, I'm pretty sure, and you worked through as a massive squad. Because I've just got footage of everyone with commander icons because squads didn't exist, and then like everyone was like just went to the colors, the different color thingies, rather than going in squads and stuff. I think this is really
Yeah.
well done, honestly, already.
I think
It
it's
is.
also really good for performance reasons as well, not to have everyone in one ball.
Yeah, that's a good
For
Yeah.
point.
the visuals and everything.
Also, Bobby, I will give you my right kidney if you give me sticky targets.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
saying. Okay, that's...
Not the kidney.
You can have it. I will gift wrap it.
I'll give some kidney beans, just not the
Bobby,
kidney.
Bobby does story stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Just write it into the lore.
When you ask
Yeah.
Bobby to give you sticky targets, he'll cover Lord Farron in honey.
Oh my
I'll take
god.
that as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Hey,
I like
come
that.
on.
Oh,
Girl's
wow.
gotta take what a girl's gotta take. Yeah.
so we
We
are
did
now...
get a little bit in episode 3.
Oh, now we can go. We've got choices, so we can go to the. Let's go to the west. Yeah, let's go to the west and get this done over here. So we've got different choices now.
Don't listen to Jebro. We're doing this.
Oh, this. I mean, we are going west now.
You
In
mean,
the
we can-
different
we can just
sectors,
split
here
up.
down south, we are fighting the Molten Alliance, and each area has its own representation of Scarlet's allies. So,
Yeah.
It's-
if you like a variety of enemies, you can bounce around.
Yeah, we're spanking some char at the moment.
Yeah, we're going.
We're
we've got
fighting
Aether
the
Blades
the
at moment.
crates.
I'm not sure who's down here. Oh, we've got Dredge over here. Molten Alliance eats.
Ooh,
Ah,
someone
cool.
called targets. Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's
I have-
work.
Specifically Thor. Thor. I worship at his abs. Yeah.
Here we've
Our
got
Lord's
everything over
Balthazar.
here. We've got Aether Blades. We've got the Flame Legion. We've got Dredge. We've got everything going down. It's pretty cool.
remember to stomp.
And even in this instance, I would like to point out again, like, the music. I just feel like the music is it's very distant, and I don't know.
It's
guess
not the
more
battle
later,
music,
I think.
right?
It does during the bosses, which is nice,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like this is still a part of the battle for Lion's Arch.
Yeah, this is the music of when you're downed. And
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh,
I was
but
like, it's a little defeated.
That kind of makes sense because Lion's Arch is kind of defeated, right? I mean, I
But
guess.
you don't want it when you're
I think
trying
it's
to
supposed
build the
be
momentum.
A bit depressing, you
I
know. We're
think-
losing.
yeah.
They've got all the
Yeah.
sectors.
I think that's the message, but the music isn't great for that. So it's like when you're downstate and dead, then sure, it's
We should
good.
go,
Here's the thing, though. I think they
really
used
fun.
this music back in the day, and if they would have
Nice.
changed it, I would have been sad. I think I
Nice.
would have been
Really?
sad.
Okay,
Fires good
fair enough.
northeast. We're gonna go kill a champion spider.
Let's do it.
Okay,
I
we
fell
are
down.
going up to this stop the Aether Blade miasma deployment. I guess that maybe extends. I don't know.
I think it's an interesting choice. How much do you keep original? How much do you change so it's a better experience?
Yeah.
And I think-
yeah.
Yeah, I think World of Warcraft ran into it when they were doing their kind of
Cataclysm.
time locked. Yeah, well, they've done like time locked vanilla stuff.
Oh,
Vanilla's expansion. Yeah,
true. That makes sense.
yeah.
It is
I think-
difficult though, right? I mean, like, what do you
It
bring
is.
back that was good? What's easy to do on the time, like in the time we've got left to do it? Like, and what do we prioritize? And it's like, well, they've got to get people to play this, and I wonder if what iterations they had on this. I would love to understand or hear about their thinking behind what they went through for this. And I think they maybe talked about it during Extra Life. I can't remember.
There was like a really cool interview with, I believe, like kind of the lead person behind bringing back season 1, and I think that it was like with Joe Kimes, if I'm pronouncing this correctly.
Okay.
It was a really cool interview. I read like parts of it, and they talked a little bit about how they had to like make certain decisions and like what made the most sense to bring back and how they reworked it.
Was that a PC Gamer like article or something?
Oh, I wonder if I can find it real quick.
That's where I'm like, man, why don't they need to put that stuff onto like their own site? I'm just like, I love those interviews. They're so good. But I would like them to be video. The video interviews would be cool.
Do we focus the boss or do we focus his ads?
Where are you at?
Yeah, where are you at?
Oh boy.
We succeeded,
Gigantic
Dals.
Flame Legion Char.
Oh, yeah. So down south, the bosses have spawned. For this, there are some ads called the Molten Protectors, and they create pylons that prevent all damage on the boss and their allies. So I'd say probably good to like knock them out of the totems and then kill them so they don't spawn more, just so we can get them down. A little bit faster.
Northwest
Oh.
people, we're going to the champion. The,
Thank you, dear heart.
Defeat the
Also, you
champion
can use the
message.
waypoints to get around a bit.
True.
Very true.
Forgetting
Forgot
about
about that.
Oh.
Can't mount that as well. I was like, just started mounting and was wondering what's going on here. Yeah, kill the things as we go through. They're just being mean about Lion's Arch. Okay, yeah, we need to go through here. Whichever way you want to go there. Good stuff.
There's still one left.
Not taking any damage.
Still one
Why isn't he taking any damage? Bollocks, bollocks.
Yeah, there was one protector up, and it managed to place down a pylon right before we killed it.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
now we should be good.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here's the music. We've got better music now.
Smack
We're
him
on
in the nut.
We're on the
Come on.
We're on the Aether Blade Admiral, who does a lot of damage apparently.
I do love the chart. It would be lovely if we could play as the Flame Legion with all the beautiful like spell effects that they have on their bodies. That would be like an awesome add-on for the shop.
See, that's like the ESO skins they have. We talked about
Yeah.
that in our thingamajig, didn't we, a little bit? But like the in the episode where we got the wants and desires of Guild Wars 2 that other games have. But like adding those kind of personalities, I agree. That one is one I really want for like. I mean, the dwarf one is pretty cool. Like ones like that, making us another kind of feel like we're another race almost to a degree. Like the elf is and that kind of stuff is cool as well.
Especially with the reintroduction of the Flame Legion into the Grand Legions, then it's a
Yeah.
perfect time to kind of put it on the shop and I'll give you my money. I'm just saying.
Or just have it as
Simple,
part of
simple.
the makeover kit, I guess, as well. I mean,
That would be
Character creation.
amazing. Yes, 100%.
Something popped up to the right.
We almost killed
What
the
popped up,
Aetherblade
Boots?
guy.
Ooh.
This is a podcast. We need the
Champion
descriptors.
toxic
Yeah, I
Varg.
haven't got your
Warlock.
images right now. We can go west as well, people. We're gonna go to White Crane Terrace, but you can take the waypoint here. Actually, I'm
Champion
not gonna do
Toxic
that.
Warlock. Who,
We're halfway to the bosses. Good job,
without a better way
everyone.
to describe it, is a snaky boy.
Snake.
If you can do the jumping puzzle in here.
A little slithery
No.
snake.
You can actually, so there was an old jumping puzzle in old Lions Arch which got removed when new Lions came out. And you can do it again now if you get the balls to go back.
I've got a
Oh
couple
my
of people with me,
God.
but I need more of my squad who are coming to the west. There's a couple of you kind of wandering around, but we've gone to the White Crane Terrace all the way over to the west. Just doing an event over here. There we go. A couple more peeps coming through.
Calling for bald support.
Yeah, ball spot. we did pretty well. We nailed some events pretty quick, and now we're like, where are we? It's okay. But
Another
now,
area has been secured.
awesome. Oh, this is one thing that I really love about this. Remembered as well, the kind of the base over in the west, which is shielded, which is with the big dome over the top. A mini outpost. What's it called? Oh, actually, this is the best way to go. Oh, this is actually what we're defending as well, so that's good.
Shit.
Yeah. Is it the mayor's office or something?
I guess
can't
we'll
remember.
go. Lara's group go bottom right.
Yeah, there's like
Oh,
a
wait,
thing
no,
on the
somebody's-
islands.
Oh yeah,
we'll
I've
go to
done
the
this.
island. We'll
Here
go
it
in the
is.
middle.
I guess we can
My
bring
group
back and
will go
for it.
back towards Lionsgate. No, we can't
Ooh.
ping. So we're gonna go towards the left. Over with me. Follow somewhat.
Look at that skybox.
Semi-tag.
It's difficult, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good. Thank you so much for bringing this back. I love you so much.
It's great, right? It's really good.
It's so good.
And seeing the Breechmaker just continually drilling right there.
Yeah.
I
It's
keep
so
forgetting about that.
menacing.
That's even there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool.
So ominous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it just dominates the sky. It's such a moment up there. It's amazing. God. So good.
We'll
Die
just
things.
go for the one that's close.
The fact that you can still do the downstage, like some of the enemies have that, and some of them don't have that. I love my finishes as well coming out. on
Over
this.
the toxic. I really think that should be like a consistent mechanic for
I love
fighting
it, yeah.
champions or elite mobs.
Right?
Because it's fun to down enemies in the open world. Do we
And-
fight this thing?
And they would sell more finishes, and they'd make more finishes as well.
Do you go down? I don't know where to go. I think we go down.
Just do the
down
event,
here.
do whatever events you want, I guess. I can't remember.
But I'm
I
trying
ain't
to like
done this yet.
guesstimate where the circle is and like where it will count.
I'm gonna break
Right.
my knees if I jump down there, and I like my knees.
Do
so
it.
I-
I'll rub you and
Yeah, you
get
can't-
you up.
Oh, I think there is no fall damage. I just
There's no
jumped
fall
down
damage?
really
Yeah,
really?
far.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I might be tricking all of you accidentally.
Yeah.
Do you remember
I
there
remember
used to
there
be
wasn't
full
fall
damage
damage.
builds, like back in the day, like in
Oh,
World
yeah.
World and stuff.
And then the Snowfall's runes came out, and we're like, "Wow, this is amazing! Perfect for fall damage." There's no fall damage. Interesting.
That makes sense.
Oh,
There's no mounts and gliding and stuff. People probably get used to that. I guess they were thinking, yeah, right at the beginning of this, people are just going to
Right.
be dying before anything even happens.
And I actually really like doing these dynamic events without mounts because now that we are in a world where mounts, specifically the Raptor, have so much crowd control with pulling,
Yeah.
it's like you actually have to kind of go around and like use your abilities to push enemies together or pull them or like tackle them one-on-one. And I kind of miss that. Now
know, I
it feels like
remember you saying
Raptor, the Raptor pull being like a 10 target pull together. It's like they all get stacked on one pixel and then you just explode them all at the same time.
True. Absolutely true.
Oh, there's a protector. Ew. Ew. Ew.
oh, got him.
You right there, Greg?
No,
Take
it
'em
places down
down.
it places down these totem things and it's just like nothing is damaged.
There we go. So so if you can see on the stream as well, there's on the right hand side group event, defeat the thingamajig, but we're trying to recapture all of these areas. So we're at 8 of 12 right now. I don't think there is a limit. 9 of 12 now as well. And there's mini bosses and
Let's
stuff.
go.
You got the
It's a
cannon
nice
here.
flow of rewards as well. You're getting a nice
Oh, yeah.
little tick of like funny fun bits.
And
I like
achievements
that.
and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, there are achievements for kind of farming this map with the champions. I think you have to kill like 20 champions or something, and then participating in all of the Watch Night events.
Is it time to go in the middle?
Ow. I don't know if it's up yet. I think we've got to capture like 12 out of 12.
like there's an event
things,
there,
right? Yeah.
Definitely something going on in the middle.
We're finishing
Might
up
be
down
another event.
south.
So good looking.
Thank you.
That was good.
That was quick. Before me as well.
We're almost there. Almost
It's just
done.
a reflex for me these days. If there's anybody compliments anybody in my vicinity, I just assume it's about me, so I take it.
Why wouldn't it be, darling? Why wouldn't it
Exactly.
be? Yeah.
This boss is actually pretty hard. Ow, someone just went right down. I did as well.
Okay, we can
Shit,
pull out.
that is a lot of fire.
I'm here to heal.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there is reason to take supportive builds at times because
For
it
sure.
starts to kind of get a bit spicy.
yeah, there's
Nobody
the
making any
and you have to get
damage.
attuned as well. So if you're not doing damage, you're not really doing anything. So it's like making sure people don't get wrecked. And there's big AoE on the bosses. There's a lot of AoE damage, like which just one-shots you almost as well, as far as I remember from doing it the other day. Ow, rude.
Oh, what hurt you, Jebro?
Got knocked back like an absolute fool.
Aw. You don't have a stun break? You're playing an engineer.
I do have a sunbreak. Yeah, I forgot though.
Aw,
I,
very good.
It's always
Good
in-
job.
Wow, crew. Okay, the West team is the best team. Just saying, we're all done. So we're gonna go.
I
One
would say
second.
Wow.
Lara's team is
we're
the
gonna
best
get to
team
the
because
We
Well,
finished ours
south?
like 10
Oh,
minutes.
fine.
You know what?
entire
I'm just
east side
taking
of
my
the map.
time. I'm allowing my squad to experience the mechanic. We had to deal with protectors. I don't think any of you had to deal with that. Oh.
We're gonna stay here
Also,
though because I think we're gonna have
Proof
to
is
split up
carrying
anyway.
me. Proof is carrying me on her shoulders, so yeah.
Yeah, we're
sorry.
going full charge.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for Kroof. Are
Yes.
you running your firebrand?
Yes, I am.
Did you equip the right runes this time?
Well, here's the thing. I'm playing a healing build right now, so
okay,
I'm in a
okay.
different loadout. But no, I did actually equip the burning
good.
runes, and my DPS did go up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know
I was
where
like, wow, my
these-
burns are hitting so much more impactful. Wow.
Okay. All right, they're gonna go to
them
the
all.
north. There's a little bit of an
Ooh.
escort going on, but I don't know what's happening here.
Oh,
Oh,
so
that's wrong.
there's free
These
bolts.
watch nights, yes. Lara, take it
Yeah.
away. Take it away.
You see, like there's a blue one, a green one, and
Alright.
a red one. You can see them on the map. We got to sort of spread out evenly so that we can kill them around
I'm
the
going
same
west.
time.
I'm going west because I was west before. So anyone that
Okay,
was
so
west
you're
before,
going
go
west.
west. Green
Alright,
boss.
I'll go to the blue one.
And they do show off mechanics in the strike mission, so this is a nice way to kind of
Yes.
train. And they do something very different with the break bars this time around, which I so very much enjoy. It's not as like cut and dry as it might look with a break bar.
Let's wait until everyone is kind of at the bosses, and then we'll all start together, I guess. We're waiting for them to come down, right? So we got
It's got
Marjorie
8
and
seconds
Cass.
left.
Who have you got over there? Like, who's in the north middle bit? What
Rocks.
NPCs? You got rocks.
Ram.
Okay.
And Frostbite.
And we
I didn't
have
even see
Ellen
rocks, I
Keel
just saw
down
brown.
here.
Who's at the south side?
Oh, it's starting,
shoot!
it's starting.
Ellen Keel.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
you got Ellen Keel? Yeah, that's big damage.
We're quite pretty split up though. Like,
That would be okay.
Yeah, we
We
did.
do
You
we
have
have
to
did
pretty
kill them
pretty
all
good.
at the same time, though. Around the same time.
We do.
yeah,
Okay.
so if one group goes faster, we can slow down a little bit to
Yeah,
like wait
that
for the
sounds
other
good.
team.
Kind of scared. It looks like it's going to be really bad.
Wow, we got a bunch of people in our squad.
Actually, no, we're fine with that.
The good news is it doesn't seem like you have to break their break bars.
So that's the wild thing. They're like pretty much double
Oh,
from
they're
the
sucking us in.
strikes.
They're sucking us in.
Which is really cool. They got like the same mechanics. They got the same break bar mechanic. It's kind of teaching you how the strike works.
If you
I
do
really
break it, you will get exposed, but it won't immediately stun the boss. It will flip the pattern of the AoE, but then it will eventually give you that exposed frame to get some extra damage if you want.
Red has
So it's
quite
still
a few
worthwhile, but you then have to move where you're positioned if you happen to be like in the new danger zone.
people. Hey, how many people are in the middle one? Have you got a lot of people with
No, we
you?
only got like 10, but we got Lara and me, so we're doing pretty well.
Okay, we've got about 10 or so as well. So it's about, I think the south has got a lot, but it's okay.
Yeah, south is good. Also, for the southern mechanic, you'll have these white circles in or out. They will change every once in a while to be only in or only out. And that's something that I had to actually like take note of during the strike mission, because I was like, the both areas are safe. And then I was like, oh no, they're not both safe.
CC.
Okay, so get out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it doesn't just stun them; it will actually like flip where the mechanic is going to hit.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. That's cool.
Oh,
we gotta
okay.
get tuned now. Tune.
Yeah,
Rub.
tune to the colors that are not the color of your boss.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So red and blue. Shoot, I'm gonna die. I'm good. Red and blue. Okay, I think that's good. I'm doing damage. 17k with a flamethrower. Oh, beautiful.
Thermal release complete.
This is great. And this is the better music, I would say. This is definitely
yeah,
the good music for this.
This is good boss music.
Hold it in. Sorry.
What is that referring to?
Me in high when I had to pee.
Oh god. High school. Secondary school. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Green as well. Good job, everyone. We're doing good. I'm enjoying this.
Vermilion, I want to see that damage. We're falling behind.
I really
like a raid.
I love when they introduce this kind of group big instance content with story. I think it's really good when they can combine content like this
Yeah.
or a strike with story, because I think it doesn't just then appeal to the story goers, you know, like, and I think that's always a good thing to have, honestly. We're just getting the red and the blue right for a green piece, because we're, there you go.
I think it makes it that much more compelling. It's you're invested in the story, you're invested in winning, rather than it just being like an arbitrary loot grind.
Right.
And it just keeps more and people engaged as well. Like, you know, it's like you're not just like, oh, there's more story coming and that's it. Because a lot of people they bash through the story. You know, it's that typical MMO kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like we just bash through it, like people were saying.
Skip.
Exactly. And I think you were saying, Laura, earlier that, you know, a lot of people were complaining that you couldn't do that because they just wanted to go and check out Lion's Arch, right? And like do that kind of thing. And it's like, fair enough. Whereas us all probably more want to do the story.
Yeah.
But
Gotta get all the juicy lore.
yeah, a lot of people just don't really care, and that's not because the story isn't good. That's just because the players are players. you know, they just are. That's just it.
There's this entire like min-maxing culture, right? Like you want to get level up as fast as you can.
Yep,
Just,
for sure.
I think that's
Something that I partake in sometimes.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Yeah, what it is. Like with story, I didn't want to take it in a bit, but I can rush through it at times. Okay, we're on Indigo. Indigo is like.
Oh yeah, we need to
Way
probably slow
faster.
down a little
We're
bit.
at 30%.
Yeah, Lara, we're too good.
Vermilion.
We're too good.
We're
We're
too
on
good.
our
Also,
snap now.
I will say that I really like that they changed the names of these watch nights, because it used to be like legendary red watch night. It was like such a long name, but they like shortened it up.
Wait,
Like
red
it.
was long?
Like, all of them were like legendary watch night, and then the color
right,
and
right,
basher
okay.
thing,
Okay.
and it was like going off the screen.
All right, we're catching up now, but Indigo's tiny. I guess we'll probably be fine.
I think we
Vermilion
Here's
is
the thing
at
though, I think that
17%.
now that season 1 is actually back, I think more people might care more about the story because they can really get invested in those characters a little
true.
bit better. You know, they know them from the start. I think it's so good for the game to just have them all.
I agree.
So glad
Okay,
they
let's
did
go
this.
again.
I wonder when they decided to restart doing this. I know like we got that post and all the information, but like how quickly they were like, you know, we do really need to do this, because they wouldn't have done it unless we'd asked for it. I don't think. I don't think they would have done that. Or very
I think
close.
it's such a smart idea, honestly, because like, you know, a lot of work went to bringing back season 1, but
Oh, for sure.
I imagine it's not as much as a whole new season.
No, yeah. Because it's
so-
not asset creating.
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
It's like,
So, just feels like such a smart way to sort of tide us over until the next thing is coming, like after the expansion.
for sure.
Definitely.
Good job, peeps.
Right. I think we all did it.
Easy. Well done, everybody.
So you can use the portal to get to the center and get your chest.
Ooh. Yeah.
No battle on the
which
Breechmaker,
is where we are, I guess. Oh no, it's not. We go to the center here. Go for the ball, yes. Go and get your rewards, people. Good job. Wow, that was a lot of people we got in the end. Holy crap. That's very cool.
It's like almost full squads.
Yeah, wow.
That was all I meant, essentially. Good job, everyone. And now, what we can do is... I mean, I feel like I want to get a picture of this. like, I don't think this is going to be easy to organize, but that's a lot of people.
Yes.
That is so cool.
I mean, if we could do it for the Materia Pride March, ooh, I believe in us.
You reckon?
Group picture.
All right, screw it. Let's do it. Let's try and do it in front of.
In front of the lion.
In front
the
of the
dead
lion, like here, like do it.
Oh, that's so sad. It's like we
Let's do
killed
it,
the
let's do it,
lion.
do
We
it, do
did.
it.
Honestly, best strike mission boss, the lion.
No.
No,
Poor
poor puppy.
lion.
Its eyes have been gouged out.
Oh my god.
What?
It's always been
Were
like
they
that.
always like that?
They're always
Oh,
like
that
Oh,
one's
no, it's
never
fine,
mind.
it's fine.
I didn't realize how terrifying that looks in my shader that I have
How's
on.
it? Oh my god.
It's like, oh my gosh, okay.
I think a lot of the people are like just joined the squad, so I'm not holding out much hope, but I'll try and get some pictures. Cool. So good. Well done, everyone. Good job.
I'm
Wonderful.
so glad my first experience of this place was with this group. It was great fun. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. I like doing these things. We play through some of the story and stuff sometimes, and it's just nice to like experience it and then talk about it, because you just forget all the things, don't you, when you're going through it, and then there's always someone who's going to remember one thing, but you can't clearly remember it. If you play through it, you can just comment on it as you go. And I would like to do now, as if people have enough time, is go back to Lion's Arch and check that out and kind of just
Oh.
go and remark on
Yeah.
it. That would be, I think, very cool. So we need to have someone who's got it.
I do. I'm pretty
you
sure
do?
Lara does as
I
well.
have it too, yeah.
And Boots.
But I do.
We've
When like
got
old
options.
Lion's Arch, let's grind these achievements in one day.
Now we have to
That
do
is
the
what
strike
I did.
mission. Just kidding.
We could.
We could do that
Wait.
maybe.
I
we
can take
see
you
maybe
through that another
afterwards.
time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It might be.
Take me home, Lara. I haven't been there in years, please.
Okay, so
We're
we
going
can
to the
just.
old Lion's Arch.
We can just teleport to you.
Probably.
So-
I don't know.
Let's find out. I'm going right now.
Okay.
I'm in the memory of Old Lion's Arch.
Wow.
Me too.
Wait.
pretty.
How did you get there?
I did it.
Are you already done the achievements?
yeah, we have to keep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Use the
I
item.
spent like
Fine.
3 hours yesterday grinding them all.
Oh, really?
It was super
Yeah.
worth it.
Okay, I'm gonna
It
get
really is.
into
It's
one of
honestly,
your.
it's not. The
groups.
achievements aren't that grindy actually. Like
No, it
The
was,
map
yeah, it was
of
pretty
that-
a couple
simple.
hours.
And they're
I
pretty
ju-
lenient with it too, because they don't make you get all of the achievements necessary. So
Yeah,
like you
there's
can
one
pick
you
and
can
choose
skip.
which ones you want to do.
Isn't it just long?
I
though?
chose to do the map event achievements where you had to do like 30 map events for that
Yeah.
specific episode. That one was a little grindy, but other than
I
that,
did-
they're pretty fine.
I did the A for path instead, and I forgot how painful it is to start.
I did that
like
one
the
too.
ooze. Oh,
Yeah,
that took me a while.
Oh,
I sold a couple of fractals. Actually, 1, 2, 3. I think I sold 4 fractals in order to.
I love the art. Look at the art. Old Lion's Arch. It's got like
pretty,
an
isn't it?
anchor and steps and stuff. It's not much, but it's just like, oh, it's like if. Oh, there's a. No way. I'd love to join a. Yes, I'm gonna invite people, and you can apply later. If you want peeps in who do want to join the guild, do exclamation mark Lightbringers in the chat, and you can also get to the. Oh, you can full on just hang out here
Yeah.
forever. What?
Yeah.
No
And all the
way.
NPCs work.
also-
You can use the TP in the bank. It's
Also, when
great.
you log out and log back in, you're still here.
oh
What?
that's nice.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh
I'll-
my god, this is so good. Have they got all like the vendors and same vendors and stuff in
They
different
do, they
places?
do.
Yeah.
No
And the
fucking way.
fractal portal.
Yeah.
the dialogue
No.
is there too.
They
So
have?
it's literally the most updated Lion's Arch before it was destroyed, it seems.
Oh my god, I'm getting
And you can
slightly
go in the
emotional about this.
sewers. You can get in the
This is
sewers and
seriously
go see
so
the
cool.
whispers.
It's really
my
nice.
God.
I teared up a little bit when I first walked in here.
Yeah,
and
I'm
there's
literally
one-
getting that feeling right now. Like this is
There's an NPC here that I don't know what happened to her after the Lion's Arch thing. There's Genevieve Borden who came here looking for looking for her friend, her sister, and her family.
Oh yeah, I noticed that
My
too.
goodness.
This is
See, I
so
actually-
good.
When I was playing Guild Wars 2 back in 2012, I didn't really know what the game was about, so I actually didn't spend a lot of time in Lion's Arch, so I never really had that nostalgia hit, but seeing all the videos and the way people talk about it, that alone was enough for me to go like, oh my gosh, I remember this place a little bit, this is so cool.
And it's just that there's so many named characters in here as well. So many named characters who have dialogue in such a small location. And it's like, yeah, it's hard to recreate that as new content somewhere else.
I know
So
you can't mount or anything, which I get because it's just the map from before they've brought back, right? So like, I kind of want to get a picture, but this is one of my favorite bits of Lion's Arch, the portals. Just like on the rocks, kind of just sitting up there with the dodgy ramps like going up to them, because it is just like it's just old Guild Wars 2, and it's just like, this is really, they have done such a fucking good job at this episode. This is it. This is the icing and the on the cake. This is just amazing.
And the lion statue's no longer dead. And when I was walking up the ramp, the way like the water shot out, I was like, is that peeing? I was like, oh no, it's the fish.
Yeah,
No, I love the fish. I used to stand here for hours just
Fish.
watching the fish juggle the water around.
Can you do the pirate puzzle while you're in? I know it doesn't change, but like,
I think for some reason the pirates one is the only one that's like blocked off. I think.
oh, okay.
But you can do the old one, the one that got like removed, that got like replaced by a different one, where you go into like the sewer.
Really?
All that
Oh,
stuff is
that
bad.
one's still around? No way. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Oh my god, they got the old dungeon vendors over here.
They even
And
work.
they
What?
have
They
they have
work?
target dummies that you can fight. It's sad that
Yeah.
they're not inflicted with conditions though.
True. It's the old,
so sad.
type. It's the old type that didn't have all the destructible stuff in the back. And,
We need more training dummies in other areas, and healing dummies, and defiance dummies.
This is so rad. This is so good. Oh my
Also,
God.
let's go check out the Order of Whispers hangout.
Oh,
In the sewer, yes.
Yeah, we can go through
respectable
the sewer, or
folks
we can
can't go there, but I
There's
wanna
also a way
live
to-
there.
Exactly. There's a way to get Can you get behind the bookcase in the bar to get through?
Wait,
there?
where are you? Let me get over to where you are so I can show that off.
I thought you could get in behind where the vendors are. Yeah, the crafters through the sewers.
Yeah. So there is a like a back entrance, but I think you could only get there in. You could definitely get through the sewers, but there's a back entrance that I think you could only get through the bookshelf that's blocking it off in like story
Oh,
instances.
yeah. I remember
Okay.
this. That's so funny.
This so feels like coming home.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, isn't it? It's very
I
awesome.
can't tell you. Yeah.
It's like a real place, yeah. It's
I'm
more
having-
than just.
It is
some
though.
pixels.
You forget like this is kind of like, I don't think I've had that feeling in games somewhat to some degree where they've tried to recreate places, but not when it's the actual place coming back, and it's just because you forgot about all this. There's still these cool little nooks and crannies in the newer Lion's Arch, but they're not got the ship designs, and they're more modern, and it's like all stone, and it's less. There's just less character to it, you know.
And yeah, it's like concrete Disney. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And with the personal story instances being updated to actually utilize the old Lion's Arch assets, like for years now, we've had like teasers of this old place, and like playing through Whisper story missions, sometimes you end up here, but you never got to actually like explore the entire breadth of this map. And so now it's like, it feels strange not having any story instance boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
love.
walk around Friday.
Okay, I'm going up
Yeah,
the
let's-
steps. Let's check this out.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
I
a-
found it. There you go. I'm
Yeah.
in the Whispers area now.
There's also
Nothing
another
up there.
passage you could go downwards through the sewers. Like you could swim all the way across and go somewhere else too.
Does this place have fall
Uh-oh.
damage? Roll find out.
Oh, I went into
No
the
fall
water.
damage,
Thank God.
yay.
Oh, God, okay.
You will not die here. I was like, oh, there's no gliding. What if people fall to their deaths? Thankfully, no. You're fine.
Wait, there was another way. Was it over here? Yeah, because there was an underwater bit, right? I remember that.
Like a cave with a boat.
Is it this one?
It's so nostalgic. So
Oh.
when I was first playing the game, I was with a guild called the Red Lion Syndicate, and we were a role-playing guild. We spent hours role-playing in the city. It was just amazing.
Oh, yeah, down here. Here you go.
I've never been down here.
No? Oh my god, it was so fun. It's just like one of those little random quirks, like a sewer system in the actual city. Pretty rad.
I don't believe I've been down here.
I've forgotten, because it wasn't something like you did. I don't think there was anything ever down here, like to do specifically. It was just like an exploration thing.
Oh.
I thought it was part of the story.
This is a
Was
part
it?
of a story step. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you find like an undead like shark or fish thing.
Oh.
Didn't we
okay.
also bring Demi here?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know.
the base, the Order of
Oh yeah, the base.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's more stuff behind this. Oh no. Okay.
Have you gone to the other side and gone down further,
Yeah, that's
like
what we've
down
done.
in the sewers?
Yeah. We're in like the
It's like the wreckage of a ship or a couple.
Yeah.
ships, yeah.
What's the story here?
This is like the original ships, like way back in the day. Way back. And then they built
Yeah,
on
so-
top of that.
And also the bars and the archways that you can like go and see and like sit down. I mean, you can't sit in any chairs because that hasn't been updated, but roleplay wise.
I'm gonna go over to where the new kind of tower is, I guess. In the south, west. Let's have a look.
I
Is
want
that- what's
rangers to
that?
have sockeye salmons as pets. Because just seeing these salmon, they're so bulky. I feel like they could really pack a mean punch.
They're too cute. You're not allowed to take them.
Oh, they've got the Guild Wars music in here as well.
adventures.
Did they have the Guild Wars music in him as well before? I've got the Guild Wars music. Pretty sure this is Guild Wars music.
I think the Guild
This
Wars
track.
music pops up every once in a while in different places.
This one I can't remember hearing that often. Oh, that's right. There's this little hut here at the end. There were some storage steps here as well, as I remember. Oh, that's right. They've got the targets on top of all the boulders and stuff. And then there's the tower here, which is not made yet, obviously. It looks
Right,
like...
the old one got like destroyed by the Karka, I think, in the first part.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, so is this post-Karka?
Yeah, I think this is like pretty much right before the Battle for Lion's Arch.
Right.
It's like very up to date.
You can't play skiffs either. You can't use the boats.
Oh, that would have been cool actually, but still, it's trying to take you back to that feeling as well, because we didn't have any of that stuff. So it's true, like, you know, it's true nostalgia.
Wait, I'm having to pop swiftness. What is this?
Yeah, I know, right? I've got Speedy Kids on, so I'm like, oh, not Speedy Kids, because it used to be called Speedy Kids. Oh, back in the day, we liked
Wow,
that.
my immersion is broken. There's a reinforced armor vendor, and there's not an actual anvil that I have to spend 10 silver at. This is a
And I
failure.
reset my trait
How
by paying
dare.
1 gold.
I'm testing
Where are the
something out.
class trainers?
Oh,
I'm
did we
testing
have to
something out.
do
Hold on a
that?
second.
Do we have to pay gold to reset the traits? Did we have to
I
do
think
that?
so,
I
yeah.
can't
sure.
remember.
At launch.
Oh, crap. Feels bad.
No, I think it was not in PvP though, but I think in PvE.
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
had
that
to.
would have sucked. That would have sucked a lot.
Okay, I'm testing
There.
something out.
A chart here.
This place I remember going into and liking quite a lot.
I have dropped my Jade waypoint in the Lion's Arch, and
Wait,
I'm
you can
coming
Jade
out of
waypoint.
it. And I'm trying to see if I could get back in somehow. No, I don't know where the Jade waypoint is anymore.
It's in the mists.
It's gone.
I find that really interesting that you can set the waypoint, because like all the other functions of the Jade bot have been disabled. But I guess that's a skill, because the updraft use I think is categorized as like a mount ability, so it won't actually like activate or pop up.
Yeah.
Ah,
There's the old
interesting.
ArenaNet arena thing where they do the polymock. Did the polymock stuff, I guess, back in the day, or where the polymock arena is, because you don't have that. Is this the polymock stuff? Yeah. So the
Yeah.
polymock is like the mini pets fighting each other. They've got those back there.
Well, I don't know if that's the
remember-
Polymock. There's never Polymock there. The Polymock is in Radasum, the Polymock Arena. This was just a.
Is this just a different thing?
No, yeah, this is a just sort of an egg. You know what's that
An
thing
Easter
called?
egg?
Easter egg. It's an Easter egg.
This arena's like an egg.
It's an egg. No, it's an Easter egg because it's looks like the ArenaNet logo. It's an arena with a net above it that looks like the ArenaNet logo.
Yeah. But like, wasn't this supposed to be like a Polymock thing because of the mini pets? Because they were trying it out, didn't you? Right.
I mean,
so
possibly.
All right. So well, we actually know this. If you'd watched the extra live stream,
Right.
like Colin and Bobby has like released so much information. If you've not watched this, you need to go back because they
It was
gave
a
us
really
some
good stream.
they were talking about how they actually started to think about this and think about doing it with mini pets and for the Polymock stuff. And they were actually this was actually gonna be a thing, and they just didn't do it. I think it was just too much, but it was gonna be with all of the mini pets in the game.
I mean, it's
like-
time.
I think it's also about how they wanted to make sort of a separate Polymock game, right?
Yeah,
and
like, that's
then
right.
3D work out.
That was the huge
So
big
cool.
thing. That was the main thing, right?
Let me
Absolutely.
come down and see.
That was
Let me
one
take
of the
a little look.
that was one of the side projects, wasn't it, Laura? They said.
Yeah,
Didn't they
I think
confirm
so.
that? Like they said that.
I think
on
it
the-
is, yeah.
I think it was was it the mobile game? I don't know if it was the mobile game or not, but yeah, that was it. Legitimately, that was one of their side projects that we actually know what one of them was.
Yeah. It's sad that it didn't work out. I
Wait,
would
what
have
was it?
loved to
Sorry,
see
my
something.
It was the
brain.
Polymock. It was the Polymock.
The Polymock
stuff.
miniature stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that was going to be one of the side projects, like one of the actual own games. That's right. I was got it right on the nose there. Yeah, don't
This
go
is
and
so
watch it.
cool.
That stream was really good. It was exactly
Yeah.
one of those streams where I'm like, we need more of those. And it
It
was
was
a good
really
money
entertaining.
maker.
Just like all the old stories and stuff from behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
the couch that they used to have that
Yeah.
Bobby was talking about was hilarious. And they were like, yeah, if we get like $2,500, someone donates that much, we can send you this couch that's just been in ArenaNet for like 20 years or something. It
I
was
still
so
fully
good.
intend to make a Polymock mobile game as a fun little thing that ties your
You might need to get the rights for that.
I know.
Just call it something different, and then
No,
use just like different miniature names and whatever, and go different
Except
columns.
it would get the API and figure out what miniatures you have on your account, and then those would be the ones you could use in the game.
I mean, collecting them to get the different kind of effects and fights going
Yeah,
and stuff, that was
exactly.
so cool. It'd be so cool. It's like Pokemon, for God's sake. I mean, it's like Guild Wars 2 Pokemon, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's Polymock kind of sounds a little bit like Pokemon.
I see a lawsuit in your future.
I see. I think
I
that's
do as
correct.
well.
I see.
You said YOLO, might as well. Oh my god, the Grawler here? What was with the Grawl? That's very strange.
Oh, this thing. The pots, like, that go around and do all the...
Boots, can I ask you a question? So,
Please.
do you remember? I was thinking about a Wooden Potatoes video in Lion's Arch, Old Lion's Arch, and it was about a gun. It was like a game-breaking gun sold by a char that kind of propelled you across. I'm trying to find it right now. I'm wondering whether
The
it's still here on.
Teleforce gun.
Yes, I'm trying to find it.
They
Are you
blocked-
Isn't that
talking
used to
about
break maps
the
and
one?
stuff?
It's the one that gets you to the island. Are you talking about the one that gets you to the island Vista?
I think so. I think so.
Okay,
It's
so
sold
that-
by a.
Yeah, that's over here. I think.
They blocked
All
off
the
jump
vistas
puzzle.
and stuff are. The vistas are not here, which is
Yeah.
like I think it might have interferes with the new Lions Arch vistas or something. I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
They definitely took out that jump puzzle. Yeah, we went over and
Yeah.
tried to
So
find it.
there used to be a vista on that rock down there.
Oh. Can you imagine if they put back the mower racing on there?
Oh look, this guy Clag. Clag gives me the rifle. There you go.
Oh my goodness! Hang on, I'm gonna.
Oh no. I
So you
went too
used
far.
to have to do that to get the vista on the island, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
This whole farming
yeah.
area. This farming area is so beautiful. I don't feel like I've ever really come over here. There's so many
Yeah, that was
watermelons. Oh my
cool.
gosh.
There was that. There's the mower racing as well. Like, there was just a round, wasn't it? The mower racing was always around, wasn't it? Just a thing that was going. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if it was, or was it? TP to me, it'd be funny. Okay.
Also, this place is so fantastic for RPers. I came here the other day with my friend, and we ran into some people who were RPing, and it was just like such a nice little area for those because my friend is a really big role player in Guild Wars 2.
It's a bit safer as well, honestly, because you have to do quite a lot to get here in the first place, and people aren't just going to hang out here because it's an extra thing to do, I guess.
Can we take
Do any of you want to see the removed old jumping puzzle?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to do. Yeah.
We just went over there, yeah, we tried to.
Trolls,
Oh no, not the one with the pirates, but like the sewer one, because that one is actually back. Yeah.
Oh, where you like the Mario, you like drop down into the pipe.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like Troll's
yeah.
End or something.
Oh, where's that?
So good.
I did that one.
So
the
that
other
one
day. It
goes
was good.
removed with new Lion's Arch, but they made like a new one instead. Sort of like, but the old one you can actually do it now, which is really cool.
Oh, that one. Okay, cool. I'm coming over. Because that was one of the normal ones you do every day to get the daily done. That's what most people did. I did that one anyway.
Is this supposed to be like a portal that would take you to the other side of like Lornar's Pass or something?
I don't think this was an entrance. I think this had a boss in it though.
No, I think it was.
Is this a puzzle?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
jump
this
puzzle.
is this is a jump puzzle, but this one is still new Lion's Arch too. I actually thought it got removed, but you can do this one in new LA too.
Oh.
Yeah.
This one is still intact.
Oh, is it? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I
probably
realized
done
literally
this.
like half a year ago. I was like, what? Wait, I thought this got removed, but it's still there. It's still
I guess
there.
it makes sense. Well, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
this
it's-
now if it's still yeah, I'm just doing the thing. 'Cause the
I don't know where to go.
Okay, so if you wanna do the removed one, just come over to Traders Forum, and I'll show you. It's really cool. Like the entrance is actually really awesome.
I like
Okay,
that they've
come on.
still got the karma vendors and vendors still here. Is there any old like vendors that aren't available now that we can buy stuff with? Oh, that's a good
Oh,
point.
the circle.
How to pull friend.
With
a
heirlooms, like with the heirlooms, what can you buy with those in the?
I made it.
Because I actually don't know.
Oh, I am
Good.
so
Oh,
going
I'm ready.
completely
Manic
the wrong
jumping.
way.
Oh, I got
Oh,
that
gives
wrong.
you
like,
unidentified
oh no!
zone.
I went the wrong way.
Hey, you don't get to teleport, Boots.
I'm teleporting to Traders Forum to go. Where did Lara go?
I went the wrong way.
Oh.
Awkward. Please ignore.
Oh, is this the one where you go on top of all the buildings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like you go on top and then you drop into a sewer pipe.
yeah,
it's really cool.
Oh yes.
It's like here. Yeah, I remember now. I remember. It's been like 8 years. Okay.
How
It's
do you
been like a
remember
while.
where that started? Oh yeah, I remember where that started now as well. Yes, wasn't this?
It's
Yeah,
in here.
I can't remember what you need. You needed to do this for the achievements, but there was another reason you had to do this, wasn't there? I'm sure there was. Oh man, this area is so cool. Going for all the ships. Oh yeah. This
I
is
love all the
sick.
verticality.
Absolutely. Oh wow, they really did good with bringing this back.
Oh, it's here,
Holy
it's here.
shit.
I remember.
So good.
Wow.
Don't
geez.
fall. There's no sky skill to save you.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, true.
Oh wait, there's
Oh my
where's my
god.
position rewinder?
This is cool.
Oh, I think
man.
that's also a
You can use your personal Jade waypoint if you need to. So after a 8-second channel.
Oh yeah, the portals, like Mesmer portals, old school jump puzzles. Oh, love it.
Anybody here Mesmer? Nobody. Nobody
Nope,
here's
no
Mesmer.
one likes Mesmers anymore.
It's here. It's here. You see that pipe
Yes,
down
it's
there?
Yeah, oh my god.
You can just like walk forward a little bit onto this one.
Which one?
Wasn't this
Shuffle.
a Vista? This was a
There you
Vista,
go.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And then the jumping was like down here.
Which pipe?
Is it? No, it's not.
You know, you can land on this little pylon
You can
and then
land
you just
there.
like. No, what's your for?
Oh no! Don't miss!
Oh yeah, that's right, because you had to do the
That's
backwards
okay.
jump
I already
thing.
did it. I'm good. Yeah, you gotta just like barely tap it.
And then you go
Oh,
down
I got
the...
you. I got you.
Oh,
Everyone that
yeah.
missed, I got you. I have a portal.
You have a rewinder?
Oh, I'm
I have
down.
a white mantle.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
go.
Come on, rating.
What? It's there still. No way, dude.
And then you drop into the pipe, and it's so cool.
This one's good. It's very claustrophobic.
It was one of my favorites, and I was sad when they removed it, but now it's back.
I could not imagine
my
doing this on a
gosh.
Norn. Like, you need to be in an
I
Asura to do this.
I was started on the Norn Mesmer as well. This is kind of frustrating. All of these were. I'm an Asura now. I went from like the biggest character with magic to the smallest with like tech stuff. I really went the other way with this one.
I tried to do this on Tuesday and it took me forever because I didn't remember.
Maybe do we do this on the podcast now? I don't know. Maybe.
It doesn't take too long.
No, this one. I remember now. That's not the start, is it? Or is it?
You have to go like all the way up, I think.
Yeah, you have to.
You work your way
What
down.
I didn't know is you have to go up and then go to the mossy part, kinda, and then you drop down upon those wooden bits.
If you're still with us and you're just listening to the audio version, you're just hearing us like gush about the jump puzzle right now. Definitely watch the video. You can watch it on Spotify as well if you're listening. Not live. Okay, here we go.
Come on, get your fat ass up there. Shit.
One way to greet your friends is by giving them super speed when they're trying to do these things.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, shoot. Sorry. Wait, is it down there? Wait, no.
Yes.
This isn't the way.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, you jump down.
Oh,
You just hope
God.
for the best.
And you need to land on one of these things.
Oh,
no,
Oh.
I missed!
I missed. No.
Lauren, no!
Oh no, I missed as well.
Wait,
Okay.
I don't have a portal.
Oh, was I not supposed to do that?
No.
Wait, who's all? I will redeem
No,
us.
everyone did.
I didn't
No,
even
Oh
know.
no, one
Excuse you?
person didn't. Okay, fine. Kroof didn't. I didn't see Kroof.
I landed
No
on it
one
and
ever
walked
does.
No.
Oh wait, no, I did just fail that one.
Oh,
Oh, because I missed the little one. It's
we're
fine.
drawing failure now.
Was this the way?
To fail at a little
Strawberry
bit.
patches.
I love strawberries. Very good, really good.
Way.
Thanks for that. Screwberries?
Screw. I love a nice screwberry. Schnooshberries taste like schnooshberries. Screwberries taste like screwberries.
Wait, what's that from?
Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah. Shit, I haven't seen that
Oh
for a
my
long-
god.
Paraphrased.
Oh, son of a.
Wait, where is it? I can't see.
What did I land on again?
You just gotta land like right there.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my rewind
Perfect.
and cheat.
Oh, Jesus. All right, don't
Gotta
get
go on the
swiftness,
lip.
Jebro. Come on.
Oh, I gotta go on that.
We're gonna make it.
Oh my God, this is not a good idea.
And then these jumps are a
Hello?
bit rough. This one's a middle one.
What do you mean by a middle one?
Like you don't go to the very next
don't
pylon.
need
There's like
swiftness.
there's a jagged little point that you have to stand on.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, the nerves. The
And
nerves.
what do I mean by the middle one? I mean the middle child. Middle child.
I'm still getting those feels from like the nerves of doing jump puzzles. You're like,
Yeah.
no.
It's so tight.
Oh, this
It's
jump is the worst.
claustrophobic.
This jump I always fail.
Oh no, because it got. Uh-oh.
Do I go through the? Yeah, I go through
potatoes?
here.
Oh wait.
Oh no.
Yeah. This bunch of spinach,
How do I get up here?
potatoes. This one isn't too long. The jumps are a bit scary though, because it's really
Oh,
claustrophobic.
yes.
It is, yeah.
Oh, wait, was that it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you get what? Lettuce and potatoes.
No, over
Oh, there's a chest
here.
there. Keep going.
That's
Just doing all of that just for potatoes.
Potatoes.
Eat lettuce and potatoes.
A lot of fiber.
Alex.
Hey, I'm talking about spinach right here as well. This is where I fail.
I keep pressing space to open my glider and then it just doesn't. I'm like, oh,
I know.
spooky.
Wait, do I need swiftness for this? Maybe.
No. Oh.
I was thinking
guess.
there was a way to get back up. I seem to remember that there was a way for idiots like who fell off to get back up. I feel like I'm remembering incorrectly.
The fact that you can get a chest in this is also very awesome. It's not
Son of a
anything.
bitch.
I think there was, but I can't remember either where it is.
I need
I'm
swiftness
excited.
here.
I'm excited to see how many people are in here given like in like 3 to 4 months time.
Yeah, now there's like so many people, but it's curious to see like how many people will stick with it long term. I think, you know, some of the veterans will stay here until the game literally shuts down. They will never leave this place again.
I think it will be my go-to if they do the thing where if you double click the thing again, you go back to where you
Yeah.
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 I will say like there is a lot of convenience with current Lion's Arch, modern day Lion's Arch, where like the portals are placed, and of course like the aerodrome access and the training area. So like those things weren't a part of this LA, so I understand why it's not here. But there's still a decent amount of convenience when you just look at the layout of modern Lion's Arch. But aesthetically, it's more subjective. I think more people tend to praise this one more highly, I guess.
Yep.
Well, you're talking.
I just like how everything is a bit less empty. Feels like things are somewhat like close together.
It's
and
not flat as well.
Yeah.
Like there's some big flat like.
And
there's a
there
lot
are
of
people,
flatness.
there's like NPCs running around and walking around and talking, and you just don't get too much of that in normal LA.
I think
It feels
yeah, that's true.
organic, doesn't it? It feels like it's grown out of its own history, with the ships being reused. With the you can see that it's almost like a destroyed city anyway because of how ramshackled it is. It feels like you can feel the weight of history in this place, whereas the new Lion's Arch feels very kind of clinical, I think.
Well, that's because that's what it is, right? That's that's exactly what happened to it. It got built in less than a year.
Yeah, they rushed it like they do for other places.
built in a day.
I don't mean the devs built in less than a year. I mean canonically the people created it in less than a year with like, you know, quick concrete and rebar and stuff like that.
Could you imagine they use the actual rubble of LA to like reconstruct everything? So it's like burnt ships and burnt arches and stuff.
Oh my god.
Just like slightly singed, but you're not falling through it, but it does look extremely damaged.
But like, you know how Lion's Arch, like on my screen right now, Lion's Arch has got all these unique things we all remember, but then also there's these half like ship wheels that are built into bridges and stuff that aren't like old things from ships. They're just things that they've been made to like fit into what it is.
No, I think
that might be from a ship, I guess, but like
I think they're
that's
supposed to
just
be
like
from ships. I think that's how they built it. The pirates just took a bunch of their old ships and
but
shackled it together.
these are not like, these are too big for like a ship wheel specifically. I mean, they might have been like stuff
Also,
on
the
side,
diving
I think.
board.
Oh right.
Diving board.
forgot about
Wait, where's that?
Let's go there.
It's
is that
down
west?
south, diverse.
At the Tengu, right?
Yeah.
What,
I
on the west?
kind of, even though I like the fact that you have to walk around everywhere here, I kind of do want to be able to use my sky scale to kind of see
I think you're breaking
how
the
it
map.
looks from above.
Probably
I
why they
know,
don't.
but I think it'll look cool.
I would say at least a raptor and maybe a springer.
Like I
don't know.
completely forget about that central tower there with the castle on top.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see how to get on top of there.
You can go on
There's
that.
probably nothing there.
Isn't this
Yeah, I know.
waterfall in the south? Can't you go through here? I
Oh my
thought you could.
gosh. Why are we all
Yeah.
naked? Wait, why does he
maybe
get
not.
red underpants, but we
Because he's Jaff
we walk,
Radley.
we walk too far.
The one and only.
What's the respawn timer on these goggles? Okay, cool. They're not that bad.
I mean, if you look at it, it looks like the old line, like old Guild Wars 1 Lion's Arch, and they've just strapped shipwrecked ships to it to ramshackle together a sort of a booty bay, a pirate's haven,
Oh,
and
a
it
booty
feels
bay.
like a pirate's. Yeah, it feels like a pirate's haven,
Yeah.
and I love it. I love it.
I like to hit the rocks.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Poor
there's no
rock.
fall damage. I think you.
There's
don't
no
even-
fall damage. You don't die. I tried it. I wanted to die. That's how I tested it first. I was like, can I just land on the rocks, please? And then it's like, well, I hit the rocks, but I'm still alive. Also, the
One big
underwater of
downside.
Lion's Arch, of old Lion's Arch.
Yeah.
Oh right.
No,
I
it's
think
not
this is in the
there.
new one, but it's kind of
It's
more
not.
destroyed,
It's
isn't
well,
it?
yeah, most of it's
Yeah, like
destroyed
the
now.
probe is still here.
Because the probe is there because that was still like that was an earlier thing. That was just that wasn't like that was still there. But like
Here's
most
the central area.
isn't this been destroyed? This thing where I am is
Yeah.
destroyed. That's
Yeah.
not there because that's where the drill
It's
comes
gone.
down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is basically, this is all ruined. It's so beautiful. Look at it. It's amazing.
Even like with the shells and stuff on the like the coral and other stuff, like it looks cool.
I don't know. To me, it just feels so much more alive, so much more. It's almost like, what was that pirates film of the 80s? The Goonies. With when you look out onto the bay and you've got these massive shards of rock coming out, and it brings that
The Goonies
kind of
is a
ethos
huge,
alive.
like, definitely was a huge. I mean, the Goonies is that pirate puzzle, which is like the Goonies, right?
True.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a huge influence for sure.
But this is just beautiful. Yeah.
Boots, you have to do another Boots hide and seek stream in LA.
Oh,
now
in
it's
here,
going to
yeah.
be extremely. Now it's going
This
to be
would be
really like a
difficult.
fish out of water.
It
Like,
would be
oh
difficult.
wait, where is that again?
Oh my god, this is
Yeah.
the fractal. This is the fractal portal here. Is this the one for fractals? I can't remember. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'm inside
Oh no,
a
that's
clam.
South Sun Cove, a
That's
surrogate.
Sun Cove. Yeah.
What? Because there was the boat
seriously.
there.
The fractal one is over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the fractal one then, is it?
I
Okay.
had completely forgotten it was like down here instead
Oh
of up
my
there.
god. Oh my god, yeah.
And also, is it just me or is the South Sun Cove portal unstable?
The
I think that's the fractal
one's
one.
unstable.
Oh, that's the fractal one. Okay.
And I kind of like that visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
normal
lightning's
fractal
a little
portal-
bit dodgy, but like, I like the
I mean, if
idea
you're
of
from
it.
far away, it looks fine, but you get closer and you're like, polygons.
Yeah, you're like,
texture.
oh, elementalist.
Actually, it looks pretty fine. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm like looking up close, FOV really down. It looks good.
Yeah, just take that graphic quality down.
Also, really good visual storytelling.
But
There's something
this-
wrong. There's something different. Yeah.
Well, that still looks cool. Just like the surrogates on those rocks, it looks really well.
This would not be genuine, but if there was a raid and strike portal, I would never leave this place because there are training dummies up there. There are all the services I need.
I will say that I really appreciate how this place was introduced to us as well. That it was the
dear.
Mist Traveler.
Yeah.
It was the Mist Traveler that came by and said, "Hey,
That's true.
I got something for you." So
And-
in reality, this is basically we are in a fractal right now of some kind.
It's like a vision of the past, like the scrying pool.
Yeah, yeah, like the
So
scrying
if you
pool.
go
And they
to
had
the
mentioned
lands-
a while back, they were like, well, the Mist Ranger's an interesting character and we have plans for them. And it's like, I was always like, what are they going to do? And so I think they're this cool mode for them to like usher us off into past visions and story
would-
beats and stuff.
I would love to have like some kind of fights in the past and story in the past for sure. I think that would be very cool.
Abaddon.
Is the Mist Traveler just like a lot of people make fun and assume that E is Farron actually? What if the Mist Traveler is both E and Farron
Honestly,
from the future?
honestly, I would love that. That would be so funny.
Honestly, wash your mouth out with soap. Okay.
I mean, Mist Traveler's kind of sexy then. Like, oh, hi. And he's no longer Swords Master Farron. He is now Axe Shield Master Stranger.
What I'm
There
gonna
you
do, peeps, I'm gonna say like some last maybe comments about this, and we're probably gonna
Yes,
call the
yes.
podcast today because we're kind of just running around now, just like
We are.
enjoying the thing, which is fine. It's all
We got a
fun to
little
hear, but
showcase.
people definitely probably want to have some dinner and get on with their day, or go to bed.
Yes, yes.
That would be
That's me
nice.
having you peeps up late, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sit in Lion's Arch around the.
I want to go to the Forge.
Are they gonna adjust it for events?
Shaman said probably
Don't
not.
think so.
Oh, that would be so cool if they did, because some of the stuff was really fun. Yeah, just this area
It's a good
alone
Bavard,
was
isn't
so
it? It's like
good.
perfect season 1 Bavards.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I'm still astounded this is even here. I'm just like, it's so weird because when I was here last, I was playing this in Europe I wasn't even in America. So it's just weird. Just like you remember all the things that were happening around there, and maybe the guild mates you had and like the events you were doing and the story and all the things. So it takes you kind of back. It's cool. That's a good point. Did they bring any statuette stuff back from this new season? Sorry, I'm now failing. I'm like checking all the stuff. What did they bring back? They bring it back? No.
I just want to say thank you to the devs. Thank you so much for bringing this back. We love you. This is awesome.
Ogden!
What?
I just heard
What
him!
savings?
I just heard him! He's just called Citizen.
Oh yeah.
Ho, traveler.
Isn't this him, or is that not him?
It's him,
That's
it's
him.
him, the Norn.
Yeah.
Spirits
I
of the
missed
wild
it.
welcome.
That's
Oh no, I
okay.
just heard it. I just heard it in the
Challenge?
distance. As the song. Hurry up, Ogden. Why have they just called him Citizen? You need to rename him. He was not called. He was called Ogden, wasn't he? He was called Ogden.
No,
No,
Ogden is
no,
the dwarf.
No, 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 no. Oh, no, sorry,
He
yeah,
says
of course.
by Ogden's hammer.
But wasn't he
What?
called something? I know he's not called Ogden. Sorry, in my brain. But wasn't he called
Say the
something?
words.
Wasn't he actually like called something though? I'm sure it was.
Good
Do the
hunting.
roar.
I'm at your
They might have
service.
posthumously given him a name.
So I got
But,
excited about Ogden then. It's just like,
He's,
why is his name not Ogden? Because his name's not Ogden. Oh yeah, shit.
Must visit more often.
That makes no
is,
sense.
This is a reference to Galaxy Quest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
By savings, what Ogden's hammer. Do you gra-
He says that the song, who did that? The remix of it. Have you seen the remix on YouTube?
Yeah, it's a classic Guild Wars video.
So good. It's got like 20,000, 30,000 views. Something stupid. I'm gonna find it now. I'm gonna literally find it. We're gonna outro the podcast with Ogden, the Ogden son. I'm tempted right now to do that. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching and being here. Thank you as well for everyone coming out to the squad event and playing in the new event that came out with the episode, as well as just touring around the Lions Arch. It was pretty damn cool to have everyone hanging out, doing all the things. Boots, what do you do and where do you do it?
I make videos about Guild Wars 2 on YouTube at World of Enders.
Excellent. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I like this. This was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the song. Sorry. Awesome. Thank you very much, Boots, for being here, taking time on your Sunday, because we're not normally on a Sunday here. So thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Kroof, tell us what you do, where you do it.
Hi, everybody. So I make videos over on my YouTube, and you can find that at Kroof, Kroof, spelled that way. I'm also here on Twitch, but there's an underscore at the end of the name. I usually stream here almost every day of the week, but thanks for having me. I had a lovely time, and I'm ready to eat some food.
My God. Fornex, tell us what you do, where you do it. Thank you, Kroof, as well, for coming and joining us on Sunday. Legend.
I'm Fornex, the Crichton Herald. I make content on YouTube for Guild Wars 2 and some other games. And yeah, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter. And yeah. Thank you for having. And it's lovely to meet you, Lara. It was lovely to hang around with you.
I feel the same.
Awesome. Always good connecting Guild Wars 2 content creator people. Welcome back as well, Fawn. It's great to have you here today. Thank you for your Sunday evening time. Amazing. Legend.
You're most welcome. Thank you for inviting me, dear.
Yeah. Loranity, last but not least, thank you for joining us. It's been a while. It's been awesome to have you back. Tell us what you
It
do.
was
when you
great
do
to be
it.
back.
Yeah.
Good times. I stream over at Twitch.tv/Loranity. I do YouTube content sometimes. Not so much recently, but I try. Yeah, that's about it. I do Guild Wars stuff. I like streaming Guild Wars, and I like being on podcasts. So this was a good experience. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, being here, hanging out, and all the things. I am going to send you, I've got like 80 viewers. Thank you very much for hanging out, peeps. Appreciate it. And we're going to try and send you over to someone. Probably MMO Bytes. Isn't that the website? Maybe? I don't know.
Yes.
It is, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Couple, they stream together, right?
I think so.
I think so. I
Remember
think I
mixing
caught one of
stuff
their
up now.
streams. I think they're leveling right now. Maybe.
Are they quite chill? Seem cool?
Yeah.
Let's send you over there, peeps. Let's do that. Okay, new people. Okay, everyone that joined us today, thank you so much. If you're not watching live, then that meant nothing to you because we're actually going to go and raid them. But thank you so much for watching the podcast. If you do want to check out the content that I put out here on Twitch, it's mainly the podcast right now, honestly, on here on YouTube. So if you do want to check that out, youtube.com/JebroUnity, twitch.tv/JebroUnity as well. It's been awesome to have our guests here. Thank you so much. We will be back. I'm not sure if I'm going to be back on Friday or it might actually be next weekend again because I actually have to get my COVID injection, which is going to be fun. So that's yay.
I should do that too.
Yeah.
Definitely something that needs to be done. If you do want to support the channel, muchly appreciated. I'm I started my job as a mental health therapist, which is why I'm not streaming much during the week, and it's on the weekends and Fridays. So if you do want to support the channel and all of what these awesome, wonderful people do, they have links. I will put links in the description for their streams. So you can go to their streams and find out all their other content they do on YouTube, Twitter, all the things, as well as links to buy End of Dragons and other expansions. So if you do want to support them monetarily, you can do that straight from the links below as well. Otherwise, thank you so much. And by Ogden's Hammer, what savings?
What savings?
We'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching.
Savings.
Take care.
What savings? By Ogden's Hammer.
Goodbye.
What savings? What savings? What savings? By Ogden's Hammer. What savings? What savings? What savings? What savings? By Ogden's Hammer. What savings? What?